Welcome back mga kababayan to the Pokemon Unite Philippines Community League. Journey together ngayon. We are at Fair Zone at syempre, we welcome you to this league. Syempre, it's your favorite Love and Thunder duo fresh from WCS 2025 PH qualifiers. Kauri and Pika Yules. Pika Yules, welcome to the Philippines Pokemon Unite Philippines Community League. How does it feel? Kamusta?
Okay, napakasaya. First time to, no? At makakapag-Tagalog na ako sa wakas, no? Mabibigay na natin yung hinihingi ng komunidad para sa araw na ito. At marami nang nangyari. Second leg na nga pala to, pare, ng Journey Together series. So, pag nag-accumulate ng points at yung pinakamataas na points, pare, top 8, pupunta sa Pokemon para sa grand finale playoffs natin sa community.
Uy! Totoo na ba yan?
Totoo na
mga internet providers ba natin dyan? Okay na po ba ang ating connectivity?
Pare, ganito ko. Kung nakikita mo yung card na yan, teka. Yan. Ichipolen, pare. Ichipolen, kating-kating na ako makita yung mga action natin on-site. Sana mangyari na.
Actually, ngayon, medyo makati-kati talaga yung action natin kasi there's one team that is currently missing in the roster at hindi sila naglaro in this tournament. So, can you guess which team it is na talagang kayang tanggalin yung balanse sa ating playoffs?
Balanse talaga yung term mo no? Pero ito na nga, balanse. So guys, i-inform na natin lahat, no? Talon PH won't be playing, of course, para sa ating Fairy Zone. So konting pahinga muna, malaki-laking points naman yung nakuha nila during the Scalding Steam, no? 5 points yon to be specific. So pahinga ng isang best at bumalik na nga lang sa ating third series, which is yung Frigid, I forgot the name, Frigid Glacier ba yun? Basta, yes. Frigid, malamig. Frigid. Yun ang term, malamig. Yan, Frigid, yan.
Ano na yun, sa pangatlo na yun. Pero ngayon, ano muna tayo? Fairy Zone, pa-cutesy muna tayo dito. Makakita tayo ng mga fairy stories, kung sino nga ba ang magiging bagong kampiyon at sino ang haharap. Possibly with a rematch, kung sino nga ba talaga ang maghahari this time around sa ating community league. It's a second installment, so we are inches away from the big leagues itself, the big major tournament na meron tayo for every season. Nakita natin yan for the past 2 seasons. It has been Talon PH, pero ngayon makakita tayo ng bagong sub-champion kasi hindi pa naman to yung finals, pero still every points matters. Not to mention prize pool. Mahalaga.
Ay, prize pool talaga, pare. Kasi lahat ng leg natin dito sa Community League, merong katumbas na prize pool. So, I do believe, at least for this Fairy Zone, meron tayong 6,000 pesos. So, 3,000 pesos for the champions ang makukuha nila. And then, of course, yung the rest of the 3,000, madidistribute accordingly sa second and third placer natin. Pero yun nga, nabanggit nga natin kanina, no, walang Talon PH para sa araw na ito. So, will this be an opportunity for Isen Rego to take the crown for this leg, or meron nga bang sisingit sa kanila? Kasi balita ko, yung semifinals natin, puro magtotropa at puro magkakapatid ang maglalaban-laban.
Dugo sa dugo ang ating magiging labanan. And actually, there was a surprising fact na pumasok na itong nakaraan lang before we head into the playoffs. It was actually Isen Pretoria achieving a 4-1 record and securing the second seed. So, I was certainly and super excited for that one kasi it has been Rego, di ba? Rego has been the new face of Isen. Pero ngayon, Pretoria being back into the picture. Isen Omento as well, going back to the picture as well. 5-0 record nila. Sila yung number 1 seed natin. Possibly, it could be the Abad effect. Kasi there's going to be a new support player in for Isen Omento. And that is going to be Abad playing that support role. Habang si MXI naman, together with Remp, they formed the new team, the Rejects. So, talagang sumasabog na naman yung natin yung mga rivalries, mga matchups natin in between teams. It's like the Rejects trying to prove a point, make a statement na they're not just a bunch of people na kind of washed, but still they still have what it takes. Actually, medyo natawa ko na nagkaroon ng isang parang poster or pub mat telling the story of the Rejects. And then, it was pointed out there na parang rookie team sila. Pero, to not mislead.
Parang yan ba yung sa HUD? Parang yan yung sa HUD, di ba? Yung sa hyper update, di ba? Parang yan yung nabasa ko yan.
Tapos nakalagay pa Zapdos.
Ayun! Yung Zapdos. Yung Zapdos. No? Pero, grabe talaga yung updates na nakikita rin natin, no, in the community, no. May kanya-kanya tayong spotlight. Pero syempre, bago natin i-spotlight yung mga ibang teams, tingnan muna natin kung sino magiging spotlight natin para sa araw na ito. Of course, it's Isen Omento versus Isen Exosia. Mabigat-bigat na laban ang ating matutunghayan dito, mga kaibigan. Omento dito sa ating purple, Exosia sa may orange side. So, for sure, marami nag-expect dito. It's going to be Omento for sure dahil sila ay isa sa powerhouse teams pa din sa Pilipinas.
Yes, exactly. Pero let's not forget the fact Rookie of the Year 2023 World Championships Tempest now playing for Isen Exosia. Syempre, di naman natin malilimutan tong lineup na to in where they actually won the last chance qualifiers then back in 2023. So, both heavy hitters not to mention. Kaya ngayon, I'm just excited kung ano yung madadala nila dito. And actually guys, information only, 5th leaf is actually Jisoo or IGN Jisoo dati. Basta, yung attacker sa Omo Abyssinian.
Masyadong nauungkat yung mga history talaga ng mga player natin pag nakikita natin yung mga ganitong klaseng community league. Kasi yung iba talagang nag-stick sila sa pangalan nila, yung iba naman nakaibang change name na, no? Pero gusto ko yung mga nauungkat na nakaraan kasi nakikita mo saan talaga nagsimula itong mga player to at kung ganong kalayo na yung nararating nila sa paglalaro ng Pokémon Unite.
Exactly, no? Talagang malayo na ang pinanggalingan at napuntahan ng ating mga players. And this matchup right here, yung pinag-usapan natin back in WCS qualifiers, the fragments, di ba? Na sila nga ba yung magiging susi for absolute victory. Now, Miva and Jisoo playing in Isen Omento habang si Tempest naman on Isen Exosia. Actually, ngayon makikita natin former teammates clashing against each other. Not to mention, we also have sub-stories here like Abad, yan, si Luke Lewis shot. And then si Jep, Wizzy, Sign, they all were once in Team Exosia. So ngayon, ang nahiwalay naman sa kanila si Abad. So it kind of paints the picture kung anong labanan ang meron tayo ngayon.
Oo, no, kasi alam natin na dati magkakasama lang itong mga to, pero ngayon magkakasama pa rin naman sila pero in a different way in which nasa iisang clan sila. Pero a different team is still a different team. They had to go to each other at some point in time. Pero bigyan natin ng reminder nga pala ang lahat, no, Kaurina. This is actually the second leg, of course, ng ating journey together. So meron pa tayong Frigid Fluttering on June, which is to be announced sa ating date. And we also have Masters Engage pa nga pala sa May 31. So APAC East Group Station. And sa June 8, meron pa tayong APAC Finals. Wherein, I do believe ang ating mga competing teams doon ay si Kodonon Fibonacci nandun na, si The Rejects yata, as far as I know, nandun na rin sila. So, yung top 4 teams doon, actually, yan lahat ng Isen na nakikita nyo guys, kasama na rin dun sa ating Masters Engage APAC East. So, top 4 kasi yung kinukuha dito. So, para mag-proceed dun sa Masters Engage.
Yes, exactly. And I think invited na rin ang Isen Omento doon. So, you'll see them. And you'll see me guys sa APAC Finals at June 8. So, kung hindi players sa supportan nyo, ako na lang.
At ako naman, no, May 31 guys. May 31 ako nakaschedule.
Iwalay tayo?
So, iwalay tayo pare. Wala ako sa June 8.
Ay, naku. Tapos to be announced ang Pokémon PH natin. So, intay-intay na lang tayo. Alam niyo naman, ganong kasaya ang Pokémon natin. Ang daming freebies na nabibigay left and right. Pero ito, warm-up match for the day. Journey together. Ang journey ng Isen magtatapatan at maglalaglagan. Isen Omento versus Isen Exosia. Talagang maraming Isen community ngayon sa ating tournament. Dapat ang pumasok. Kaya we'll see who will take the crown this time around. Will it be strength in numbers? Spearheaded by Boss J na? O magkakaroon tayo na heartbreak for the Isen people out here? And eto na. Magsisimula natin game number 1 between Isen Omento and Isen Exosia. Let's get it on.
Let's get it on pare. Number 1 seeded team Omento versus number 7 Isen Exosia. We had a lot of story that happened in the backdrop no kahapon kasi Swiss round to, a total of 5 Swiss rounds, and sa Exosia naglaro sila ng total of 4 games lamang. They got 2-2, so naka-clinch pa sila ng top 7 and very surprising that they are still here to compete for the top 4 spot. No? So tingnan natin kung kaya ba nilang iangat pa ang kanilang game. Pero hindi natin masyado na pag-usapan no, yung draft dito at definitely Blaziken is back on the meta because of the patch that we had recently. Meron mga na-batch na buff na moveset sa kanya, just like yung ating Focus Blast talaga, that gives a lot of range. Tapos yung movement speed reduction, ang taas pa. From 1.5, naging 2 second na siya.
Exactly, and that is huge, you know. It was actually a very solid Pokemon simula pa lang, pero dito sa ating ibaba, it's going to be Sign picking up 1. Manages to get 2 naman dito ang Isen Exosia sa ating ibaba. A huge win for them in that first couple. This Absol, talagang Makati pa rin.
Sobrang kate. Pero hindi tayo masyado nakakita ng 4-man rotation nga pala dun sa bot side. No? So focus of attention lang talaga for the Absol para makadalaw. Pero speaking of dalaw, may dalaw din naman dito sa may bandang itaas.
I mean, it's spearheaded by their, you know, super fast rotations sa pinapakita nila ngayon with Sign and that Absol. You know, just staring through Thea Sky Ruins, zooming and cruising. Pero almost a Blaziken na nga tong ating Miva and that Blaziken ngayon. So, it's going to prove a lot of problems. Makikita natin ngayon ano nga ba yung epekto ng buff talaga. Pero dito magkakaroon tayo ng onting bigayan. But then they would just decide to back away.
No, kailangan talaga no? Kasi 8-minute mark yung inaabangan talaga ng ating mga teams dito. They need to get those XPs dun sa may bandang gitna kung saan nagsuspon si Rayquaza. Yung Swablu and Altaria, very important to get the upper hand. At ang ganda na nga kagad ng pwesto dito ng Exosia para hindi pa hinihin ang Omento in the 8-minute phase of the game.
Pero ngayon, spot out nila dito ngayon, the Mimikyu in deep trouble. But Miba just got out of that one, you know, very safely. At sa ating baba, tuloy pa rin naman ang ating labanan. It's going to be Tempest pushing back Ryu, and Ryu being forced to use the eject button. So that is going to be called quits for both sides. As you know, Isen Exosia still handling the lead. Almost a unite move for Sign. Kaya ngayon, it's going to be a huge problem for the side of Isen Omento, especially in this huge objective fights, whether it's the Reggie Eleki or the Reggie down bottom. Yun yung magiging mahirap na problem nila ngayon. Pero nag-4-man rotation na kayo yung Isen Omento. They're planning to do something, but Tempest still living through that one. This goal zone is good as gone. Mukhang bumawi rin naman yung Isen Exosia on top. Pero the rotations of Isen Omento will give them the advantage down bottom at mukhang makukuha na rin nila dito yung Reggie sa baba.
Cross-map trade, pero mukhang sulit yata yung investment dito ng Omento. They will get an additional attack buff, pero on the other hand, pressure naman sa scoring ang meron sa taas na ibibigay ng Isen Exosia. Pero hindi masyado yung papansin kasi merong Mimikyu sa may taas, so definitely they can push back the Regieleki as much as they can.
Ooh, and what a takedown coming in from Jep. My name's Jep, pero mukhang tutuloy pa ng push dito ngayon ng Isen Exosia sa ating itaas. Still unite move available for the Garchomp and that Absol. No defense muna ngayon dito ang Isen Omento, pero tuloy pa rin ang Exosia to force the issue. They're going in, Sign in, pero mukhang hindi siya makaka-unite move. That is going to be Ryu picking up Sign at paldo. Dito ang Isen Omento, napabagsak nila ang highest XP ng Isen Exosia, and now the counter attack is in. 5 members invested up top. Ito na nga, mukhang magkakaroon tayo ng malaking engagement dito. And Tempest trying to find an opening, pero siya dito ang masascoop back, and that is going to be huge. Fifth Leaf finds the Blastoise. Tuloy pa rin ang ating labanan. 4 members now in for the side of Isen Exosia, and Sign picks up 1. Bagsak dito ngayon yung Mimikyu, and the block comes in for Ryu to just try and escape this onslaught na pinapakita ngayon ng Isen Exosia. Still, meron pa rin namang United dito yung Garchomp, pero siya ngayon ang babagsak. The healing is just too much from Abad. Abad is just keeping the team alive, and Luklu is shot, and Isen Omento, they are non-stopping. They are forcing their way in. And Tempest, among the trouble, among the chaos, gets taken down. And Isen Omento, they made that fight happen. And it was huge for them. Pero hindi pa rin naman tapos dito ang palitan. Isen Exosia now on the front pedal. Pero it's going to be still a huge win for the side of Isen Omento. Napakaganda nung laban na yun na pinakita nila. Takes down the goal zone, takes the lead not just in XP but also in the points department.
Hindi lang yun, nagsimula yung lahat nung nasuppress na kakagad ng Mimikyu yung Garchomp. Kasi kung napansin mo, Livid Outrage, yung Play With Me, natigil agad siya para makapag-deal pa ng mas malaking damage. And yung blocks coming from the Snorlax and yung Heavy Slams, very well on point para magkaroon ng second opportunity ang Isen Omento, makakuha ng KOs and definitely take the gold zone at top.
Exactly. Pero ngayon, mukhang magkakaroon lang naman tayo ng onting trade. It's going to be Isen Exocia once again taking the Reggie Ice, the Reggie down bottom. Habang Isen Momento naman taking the Reggie Eleki up top.
Merong pressure dito magkabila ang side. Reggie Lecky, ito nagmamarcha na pero maganda pa rin yung defense na pinapakita dito ng Isen Exocia.
I mean, the defense from Isen Exocia, you take down the Reggie Eleki quite nicely. Wala masyadong conversions doon yung Isen Momento, so Isen Exocia very happy with that one. Pero ito nga, tatama dito yung Shadow Sneak together with the Play With Me. Mukhang babagsak doon si Sign is down, and now si Jep ang magiging next target. Unite move now invested from this Mimikyu. Grabe yung damage dito, and Miva picks up 2 KO streak. Habang yung ating Clefa, just scoring sa ating likod using the metronome, makakuha siya ng close combat and 3 KO streak now from Miva. And all of a sudden, they're just falling down one by one. Ibibigay ba nila dito yung 5? Mukhang isa na lang dito ang natitira. Naipit siya doon, an official 4K now for Miva. And ito na nga, Hydro Typhoon is going to be huge. Tatama pa rin dito yung Unite with the Jep. Pero yung damage nila magiging sapat as Sign is now in. And Isen Exocia just following and just waving and just cruising through the waves. Tatakbo dito ngayon si Ryu pero siya makakatakbo, and just like that, Sign from the back lane. Makaharap niya dito ngayon si Fiflip. Fiflip now down, next target. Look, Lewis shot, 2 KO streak, and Sign all across the map, all across the board. Napakabilis, napakasakit. Isen Exocia, hindi pa rin sila tumitigil sa pananakit ng Isen Momento. Isen Momento trying their best to defend this one, pero hindi pa rin ata magiging sapat. Low on HP ngayon si Ryu, pero mabuhay pa rin naman. Ito na nga ngayon yung Blaze Kick coming in from that Blaze Kick, pero that is going to be a Blaze down. Pero hindi naman siya babagsak pa rin naman dito. 4 members trying to run away from Isen Exocia. Ito na nga dito yung healing galing coming in from Luke Lewis shot and a counter punch. Sakto sa panga. Isen Momento, isa pa nga.
Sakto sa panga, gumugusto ang Exocia makuha ang goal zone, pero sila ang napunish sa bandang huli after the phenomenal defense na nagaling sa kanilang Snorlax with those heavy slams, kasama pa yung block, at they had an ample time para makagkaroon kagad sila ng reinforcement and push back Isen Exocia once again. At ngayon, eto Isen Momento, they will get additional defense after this Regirock objective. Tapos 19 seconds na lang, andito na si Rayquaza, lamang na sila siguro, usapang atake at depensa pa lamang.
Exactly, and they still have that 6-point lead for Isen Momento, and now Isen Exocia needs to make a move here. They need to find the space that they want, and their key player siguro pwedeng gumawa nun. It's none other than the Rookie of the Year. It's Tempest. Out of all the people, siya yung kayang magtiba ng laban dito. Pero ang na-notice ko lang kasi sa Isen Exocia, they can't prolong fights kasi wala silang healing tulad ng Isen Momento na merong Clefa.
Tama ka dyan, Kauri. Pero dito natin malalaman kung kanino ang mas magandang pwesto, no? Kasi if you have a good positioning, definitely you don't need the healing. You just have to KO yung Clefable na nag-heal talaga sa may bandang likod, sa may bandang gitna ng Momento. At ngayon, kinikiliti na nila yung Rayquaza, nagbibigay ng alarma dito para sa Isen Exocia. Pero sabihin ko lang sa iyo, walang nakakaalam, or rather, alam ng Momento na lamang sila kahit kaunti lang kasi lamang pa din sila sa may goal zone.
Exactly, they have the goal zone advantage, pero Sign is going to get taken down, pero sakto naman, nahigop sa gitna, at naubos na nga ang Isen Exocia. They're marching forward, Isen Momento, and maybe, just maybe, can Rookie of the Year stop this onslaught? Hydro Typhoon hindi magagamit, and Isen Momento just like that. What a Unite move coming in from 5th Leaf, and 5 members down for Isen Exocia marks their defeat. Magre-respond sila, pero can they defend? And just like that, ang ganda ng play doon yung Isen Momento na they find a pick na akala ko sobrang lalim doon ni Miva, pero it turns out it's the other way around, na napaganda pa doon yung pagpasok ni Miva onto the backlane kasi nag-compress, nagsama-sama yung Isen Exocia, and with that, Isen Momento finds the knockout blow in that one, and Isen Exocia, they're still trying their best to try and revert the result ngayon, pero mukhang it's a little bit too late. 18 seconds left. The points, just keeps coming in. Sniper, tapul pa rin doon kahit nasa bush ating Garchomp, and that would be it for this game number 1. Isen Momento, a masterclass of a Ray fight. Experience ang kanilang pinairal, and the Abad effect is still very prominent. Kitang-kita pa rin, Isen Momento still undefeated in this tournament.
Undefeated talaga, no? By the way, 5-0 sila kahapon. Wala silang dinrap na series. And definitely, they keep that fire burning. Grabe talaga yung pinakita dito ni Ryu with those heavy slams, with those blocks in order to buy time para sa kanilang team. And I do feel like Isen Omento in the first place pa lang, no? Malaki na kagad yung kalamangan nila in terms of the crowd control. Just imagine may heavy slams ka, yung armor cannon from the Armor Rouge, no? Can give you damage, can give you crowd control as well. Yung mini stun na nabibigay niya. Same thing with Miva with those play roughs na kanyang ginamit dito. So, sobrang daming options. May focus blast pa. Si Luke Lewis, andun lang. Nag-heal lang siya with those moonlight. So, kailangan lang gawin ng kanilang team is to dish out the damage, to dish out those crowd controls, at yung healing galing, talaga namang nasa tabi lang nila.
Exactly. And, that was the thing that was lacking for the side of Eastern Exocia. Yes, they have the setups, they have the Hydro Typhoons, they have the Surfs coming in from that side dock, pero hindi sapat yung damage nila to just, take down the members of Isen Omento. Masyadong makunat si Ryu, may power nap si Ryu, may moonlight na nanggagaling kay Abad. It was just proving and causing problems for the side of Isen Exocia, that actually led them to their demise. And that game number 1 proves that sometimes pag mas matagal ka, panalo ka eh. Mas masarap pag mas matagal eh. Kasi,
ay, tama ka dyan, pare.
Diba? Endurance ba, pare? Kailangan kasi nagka-cardio tayo para hindi agad natatapos. Kasi, isang bugaan lang eh. Isang ganun lang yung Isen Exocia.
Oo, kaya mag-download na kayo ng Strava, guys. Ipakita nyo yung mga sub-13 nyo, no? Kumbaga dito, sub-10 yan, pare. Kasi 10 minutes to finish the game. Meron ba tayong mga tinatawag na sub-5? Yung, yung 5 minutes tapos na yung laro. Yung mga ganun, yung 5 minutes surrender agad, pare, no?
Meron pa pag ako naglalaro ng solo, 5 minutes. Ganito yan, tama na to. Pero, ayun nga, it's a momento, it was a, how do I put this? Medyo magulo yung early stage nila kasi it was Isen Exocia getting the momentum. Pero nakita natin yung prowess nung newly buffed na Blaziken. So, I think na the game plan now for Isen Exocia is to try and fix their early game kasi their refight was immaculate. Wala akong masasabi doon. Pero Isen Omento, they also have something that they need to work more on. Kasi merong trades, for example, the cross-map trades as binabanggit natin na it was heavily on favor for the side of Isen Exocia. Pero hindi lang naka-convert masyado Isen Exocia. And for Isen Exocia, they have to utilize the lead that they have, the pace na pinapakita nila, and for them to actually close out the game. So, ayun, I think adjustments for both sides. Pero ayun na nga, binan na dito yung Clefa. Isen Omento pa yung nag-ban. So, I think ayaw nilang ibigay to for the side of Isen Exocia.
Oo, no? Sobrang daming respect bans na nakikita dito. Intellion as well. Actually, ban pa lang, feeling ko mag-iiba na yung tono ng laro dito eh. Kasi kung nakita mo kanina, si Luke Lewis, sobrang laki na naiambag niya sa mga team fights nila. Suicune is one of the prominent picks pa din as a defender sa game. Blissey to cancel out those crowd controls, and Intellion, a very efficient attacker as well. Even better than a Mewtwo Y. So, tinatanggal nila yung mga primary options ng teams, or actually tinatanggal nila yung mga meta picks. So, binabawasan nila, and they are forcing everyone to play a different Pokemon and assess the draft. Paano ba natin tatalunan yung ganitong klaseng lineup? Yung Raichu, di pa natin masyado nakikita ngayong araw kasi it received a nerf. So, yung nerf na yun, medyo bumagal na nga yung scaling niya. Mabagal na nga daw, sabi ni Bertie noon. Pero, it's still an efficient Pokemon if you want to go for attackers and all-out attackers, and yung mga supporters natin na attacker, just like this Mewtwo 1.
Exactly. Kaya ngayon, pwede na ako magsabi ng mga controversial takes ko. And I must admit, medyo malakas nga si Raichu nung release niya.
Scale, pero malakas pa din, pare. Alam mo yun? Like, kahit anong gawin mo, makakabangon siya. Bigyan mo lang ng Nescafe.
Oo, parang, ano yan? Para kanino ka bumabangon?
Yan. Para kanino ka bumabangon. Pero nakita ko yung Buzzwole kanina, pre, ha? Nakita ko yung Buzzwole kanina. Teka lang, gusto ko makita yung Buzzwole kasi, nakakakita ko ng mga match histories dun sa tournament natin, hindi sa Fairy Zone. Marami nagbo-Buzzwole. Meron din sa Arena, pare. And sobrang pivotal nung role ng Buzzwole para maka--1 kagad. Kasi, di ba, pag naisip natin -1, laging ni Nick Q. Di ba? Mga Mimikyu. Pero yung Buzzwole, kakaiba yung prowess niya, pare eh. Hindi niya kailangan ng Unite Move. Isang skill set lang kailangan niya, isang combo lang.
Isang smackdown lang, buhatin. Ayan na nga!
Ayan na.
Na-manifest na natin.
Na-manifest na, pare.
Na-manifest na. Ito na. The Lamok is in. Makita natin ang prowess nito ngayon. Ayan, I'm excited kasi nga, nakikita ko rin in other regions, parang mas na-utilize natin masyado tong Buzzwole. And not to mention, Buzzwole was kind of forgotten nung lumabas yung mga EX Pokemon. For example, si Zacian.
Yung mga Zaciano, yan.
Gamit na siya. Parang
kinalimutan
na-overshadow, oo. Pero ang nawala ngayon talaga, pero nakita ko siya last tournament, Rapidash.
Ay, oo, pare. And quite surprising na hindi natin siya nakikita, no? Kasi yung difficulty na gamitin si Rapidash, medyo mahirap eh. Kala mo takbo ka lang ng takbo, pero you need to have perfect timing as well in using Rapidash. Pero eto medyo gusto ko yung draft dito ng Isenamento once again. Yung Mewtwo nila, ito yung attack speed, pare. Hindi ito yung heavy hitter ng Psy Strike. So, kung mapapansin natin, meron silang Slowbro, si Luke Lewis. So, definitely, kailangan nila ng magandang pill dito para makapwesto ng maganda si Fifth Leaf, no, sa kanyang Mewtwo Y.
Exactly. And, the -1, nandyan for the side of Isen Omento, pero will the damage be enough? I mean, yes, they have the Mewtwo, pero it's not that great when it comes to bursting down opponents. And Blaziken din naman has okay damage, pero hindi siya yung bugsuan tulad ng Absol, at pwede, mga Inteleon, mga Delpax. So, I'm quite curious kung sino ang pwede nilang bigyan dito. I mean, medyo squishy yung mga members dito ng side ng Isen Exosia, so it could work out. And once again, Slowbro is Slowbro, RBX. Pero ngayon, si Abad ang gumagamit. Luke Lewis shot. Luke Lewis! Ba't naman ma-reveal yung pangalan niya?
Buong pangalan talaga niya, pari eh. Tinagdagan niya lang na shot, no? Parang may niyayaya siyang gawin, pari eh. Shot tayo.
Shot.
Basketball shot. Siguro, dalawa lang yan, pari eh. Pili ko ipang shot nila kung mananalo sila eh. Mali mo, pampahilaw ng basketball court. Mali mo, magse-celebrate sila. Inom sila ng mga soft drinks, juice, no? So, tingnan natin kung kailangan nila yung panalo, no? Kasi isipin mo, pare, 3,000. 3,000
laki nun.
Pare, 5 kayo, o tagbabagkan. O kung may 6 man kayo, tagpa 500 kayo, kung equal yung hatian. So,
ang shot talaga, no?
Pare, isipin mo, pare, ilang oras na yun sa basketball court, kung 100, 5 hours, pare. Tapos budel fight yun, lechon manok, adobo, kanin. So, pare, ang sarap. Ganun kasarap din yung KO na binigay nila dito, kapag instrumento.
Inuna na nila, no? Kumbaga, na. Sige na, game na.
Game na.
Nila ang laban, pero Isen Exosia once again, mahilig sila dito sa 3-man sa ating ibaba, pero ayun, mukhang mapapasama pa nga ang pagpasok ni Tempest, as Tempest will get taken down here by Fifth Leaf. Abang sa ating itaas, mukhang nagkakaroon ng ating bigayan. It's going to be Wizzy now down for the side of Isen Exosia and Isen Omento all across the board. Ito ang literal na cross-map play, mga kababayan. Making stuff happen, kaliwat kanan. Ayun na nga, Slowbro na dito ngayon, si Luke Lewis shot. So, Isen Omento very happy with their early game.
Talagang mapapangiti ka na lang talaga. Pero grabe din yung pagkuha ng citrus berry dito. Especially with the ability of a gluttony, no, na magta 2 times yung buffs na nabibigay ng berries dito para sa isang Snorlax. So, maganda na minamaximize yung pagkuha ng mga berries in order para hindi naman mag-benefit yung kalaban mo at malaki din yung benefit nun para sa'yo.
Talagang super laki ng benefit, tapos super laki din ng lugi ng kalaban doon.
Malaking lugi yun. Pero naku po, ito na yung lugi na main look pa eh.
Araw ko po, ang masasabi ko doon, pagka main look, sabay balibag, sabay okay, pero ito naman si Sign ngayon, papasok, full heal now use. Pero grabe yung damage and Miva still not going down. This Buzzwole proving lots of problems for the side of Isen Exosia at hindi pa rin naman tapos dito ang pag-abante. Tatama doon ang Hadouken na nanggagaling dito sa ating Blaziken, and Sign trying to make the best out of everything ay ngayon. Unite move will be used pero to no avail. Sign down but will take down 1 in trade per 2 KO streak from the... It's none other than Scent. Mga kabayan na reveal ko na kung sino yung Blaziken dito ng Isen Omento. And Scent, is just proving and doing wonders for the team. And grabe na nga yun. capoeira. Alam mo yun? Yung parang sumasayaw-sayaw pero di ba? Sa Tekken.
Oo, pero pare, ang ganda nga pala nung focus blast kanina. Nakita mo yung pagbagal ng surf ng Psyduck. Munti ka na siyang ma-KO dito.
Uy!
Pero hanggang ngayon, naku po, online pa din siya. Pero nakakuha dito ng objective. Walang iba
Ay!
kundi ang Exosia.
And Queen's Ascendant ang ginamit na nga dito ngayon ni ST Pro. ST Pro going to the back lane to just zone away the members of Isen Menzo, pero wala muna ngayon ang mangyayari. Papasok na ngayon dito ang Isen Exosia and now they are in the driver's seat. A nice steal coming in from Sign. A good fight for the side of Isen Exosia. Ay na nga, makakabasag sila ng goal zone down bottom and now they have the lead 141 to 137. Reggie Eleki still up and available. Unite move, slow beam. Meron pa rin naman dito ngayon yung ating slow bro. Tapos meron pa naman tayo dito ano ba yung United neto ni Blaziken? The transformation, the spinning flame
The
kick.
spinning flame kick, tsaka spinning flame fist, yon.
Oo.
Pero, medyo nagugutom yung ating Snorlax, pare, naku po.
Nako po, tinamaan doon at ayun na nga, slow beam, nakipag-usap kay Abad. And Abad using the slow beam pero wala munang magiging conversion at mukhang magiging diversion play for the side of Isen Exosia as they take down 3. Ang kapalit ng wala. At mukhang meron na nga ang Isen Exosia sa banga. In this matchup, mukhang sila ngayon na umaabante. Torpedo, sayaw-sayaw, ikot-ikot lang ang sabi ni ST Pro as he takes down 1 once again for the side of Isen Exosia. And just like that, nabaliktad ang laro. Once again, ang gulo.
Ang gulo, binaliktad. Ang gulo, angle lang ang kailangan nila. Pero might to tell you, Isen Momento, medyo maganda pa rin yung scaling ng kanilang XP kahit medyo behind sila dito. Pero they have to be very careful of that Absol, especially pag nag-pop na yung kanyang ability lock. Talaga namang siswertihin sila tulad niyan.
Saktong-sakto. Walang labis, walang kulang. And now Sen trying to run away from the members of Isen Exosia. Tatama doon. Ang binato ni 50. Side strike. Sure ball, sure tama. Tatandaan ko tuloy nung sobrang lakas kong Mewtwo yung wala pang ban. Tapos open yung mga EX Pokémon.
Ano yan pare? TH Open 2023. 1 EX limit, tapos yung ban mo isa lang.
Talagang problema. Pero ito na nga, power nap will be invested now by Tempest. And here comes Isen Momento trying to do something, trying to make something happen. That is going to be 1 member down. That is going to be huge. Yung yon, mapapatulog dito yung 4, pero si ST Pro papasok din naman. Ito na nga, the grassy slide in, sabay ikot-ikot. Mukhang tatamaan niya dito ngayon si Sen low on HP. Siya pa nga dito ang mananalo. And Fifth Leaf trying to run away from ST Pro. Pero grabe na nga iyon. 2 versus 4. Sino nagsabing walang malakas sa madami? Merong malakas sa madami at pinakita nila yun. And Ryu trying to run away. This time around, ang dalawa ngayon ng Isen Momento pero hindi nila pakakayanin ng 5. And Sign in the back lane together with Jeff, together with Tempest, together with the whole Exosia team. Making everything happen. Heavy slam is sure is heavy. Tatamaan talaga. And slow beam invested. But no avail. Babagsak doon ngayon si Abad. And Abad gets taken down by his best friend, Sign. Mala Naruto versus Sasuke ang labanan netong dalawa.
And talagang maganda yung labanan dito. And might tell you, nag-start yon sa 4-man yon na pinakita dito ng Exosia. And everything boiled down to their Queen Sarina na talaga namang nag-triple axel lang at drop kick papunta sa kanilang mga kalaban. Medyo umasim na yung pwesto nila kanina. Pero may go signal naman ng Exosia na kailangan na natin bumalik. Kailangan natin humanap ng bagong pwesto. We need those Unite moves again. Kung nakikita natin 3 minutes na lang, dalawang Unite move lang, or rather, dalawang Unite move lang ang available sa kanilang team. It became 3 eventually. So, kailangan nila makuha kagad yung mga Unite moves na yan para sa final stretch mamaya. Kasi, Momento so far, they are just looking for those XPs and the flip potential na gagawin nila maya-maya lamang.
Exactly, and the most hugest thing here is that kung makakahanap ng sobrang gandang slow beam dito si Abad, possibly on that Absol na kanina pa naging problema, or pwede naman kay ST Pro kung kaya nila i-burst down. So, it's the game of whether Isen Momento will find one or it's just going to be Isen Exosia. Just, steamrolling through the competition. Ngayon, kinukuha na nila yung pwesto. Information would be gathered. Makikita sila ni Tempest. Hindi pa naman sarado dito yung pit, pero siya dito ata mabibigyan. Yon would be invested and that is going to be the Snorlax down. Hindi pa nga. Power nap would be huge. Queen's Ascendant. Lilipad na nga dito si ST Pro. That is going to be the slow beam now invested pero wala munang magiging conversion. That is going to be the just going to be a diversion by time. Ang sabi ng Isen Momento, 2 KO streak from the Rookie of the Year defender ang gumagawa at kumakana. Tatalon nga dito ngayon yung ating Absol, makakahanap ng isa, and Isen Exocia just like that. 3 members left for the side of Isen Momento. 5th leaf, papasok dito, heavy slam would be fatal, tatama doon, and Miba all alone. Makakatapat niya dito ang kanyang former teammate. 1 versus 3, 1 versus many, 1 man versus 100 gorillas. Sino nga ba ang mananalo? Mukhang ang gorilla ay nagwawala. Rayquaza low on HP na. Ito na, Papi Chulo, moment of truth. Sino makakakuha neto? Jeff, loading it. Ito na nga ba, Mega Man. Pero mukhang siya pa rin ang makakakuha. Aldo ang parlay. Jeff, niligtas ang final leg. Over 2.5 maps. Isen Exocia making it happen. Nauubusan na ako ng boses. Unang serye pa lang. Ito na, nahabot na Kasha. Pabagsak na rin dito. Kaya si Jeff finally. Pero Isen Exocia, oh my God, they're making it happen.
God talaga, oh my God, sabi ni Kaori. Pero 100 lang ang na-convert dito ng Exocia at meron pang 48 seconds ang koponan ng Team Momento as they go for the knockout. Pero nasa na ang kanilang point conversion dito?
Ito na nga ba, ang kanilang point conversion na hinahanap. Mukhang magbabakawin na rin si Tempest. Ang kanilang sunod na magiging punteriya ay itong Psyduck, trying its best to defend, pero mukhang babagsak na rin. 400-point lead now for the side of Isen Exocia. Umuunti-unti, sinasaglit-saglit, pero sign, oh my God, the Dark Horse is now alive, and Isen Exocia, oh my God, literal, talagang inuubos, talagang inuunti-unti ang sabi dito ng Up Dharma Down. Kasi nga dito ang babagsak naman ngayon ng Isen Momento. And sign, cleaning up house, 3 KO streak, mala Aaron Gordon, body heal game 4 ang kanyang performance. And we're going to a game number 3 plus 2.5 maps, papasok. Game 3 mga kabayan, 511 to 252, mala finals ang labanan. For both of these teams, bigayan, kaliwat kanan. Walang tantanan. Yun na.
Hingang malalim pare, hingang malalim. Feeling ko si Kaori pare tumaya siya sa isang parlay, no?
Oo.
Tumaya siya sa isang parlay na ang dapat mananalo Isen Exocia, tapos may minimum point conversion kada player eh.
Oo.
At feeling ko natama niya yung buong parlay pare, ganun yung reaction niya
Tama-tama.
kanina eh. Tama-tama.
Thank you.
Pare, yung odds from yung di ba yung odds nito for sure, yung Isen Momento 1.2. Tapos yung odds
1.2
dito
lang
na tapos yung Isen Exocia pre, parang 20.1. Pare, parang Hinebra versus Terraferma Jeep yung nakita natin.
Oo. Grabe. MVP performance coming in from JP Boy. Hindi mo nakuha ng napakaganda yung last hit. Nagulat na ako. Gumanon na eh, oh. Tumutok lang ganyan eh.
Yung armor cannon niya pre, nakaganon. Pero by the way, ang ganda nung inaantay na armor cannon ng Isen Momento, no? So inaantay kasi nila mag-pop yung armor cannon. Kasi di ba may time limit yung kailangan mo siya bitawan eh. Kasi kung di mo siya bibitawan, magre-reset yung cooldown nun. So inaantay nila yung bitaw. Kasi the moment na bitaw yung armor cannon pare, isang tira lang kagad ng Momento, kanila yung Rayquaza pare. Pero hindi ganun yung nangyari, nakuha pa rin ng armor rouge.
Oo, kasi, kumbaga, eto, sa mga nanonood ng volleyball dyan, NU versus DLSU finals. Si Bella kanino, blinak yung spike ni Bella Belen. Pero si Bella Belen, ang ginawa sa susunod, di ba, nabablock yung spike, drinap na lang niya yung bola. Ganun yung ginawa ni Jeff. Nablock niya yung armor cannon ko, basic attack, tiga natin kung kaya niya saluhin. Hindi.
Ayun, hindi.
Just like that, you know. Pasok! Over 2.5 map, plus 1.5 sa Isen Exocia, pasok sa banga.
Pasok talaga sa multiplier pare, yung nakuha ni Kaori doon. Kaya naman, hindi siya speechless pare. Ang dami niyang nasabi. No? Pero ngayon, 1:1, so definitely according to the rulebook, magkakaroon tayo ng reset on both sides. No? So, ma-force sila magpalitan talaga ng kanilang gilid. So Isen Momento is back on purple, Isen Exocia naman sa may orange side. And definitely, if they want to prioritize their draft, Isen Momento for sure, malaki na yung shot nila dito, mas maayos na draft. And for sure, if they want to secure a Pokemon for themselves, then definitely, eto na, yung swak na pwesto para sa kanila. Pwedeng maging blazing and para sa kanila, pero we're not sure what's going to be their game plan as of the moment. Since sobrang daming options, pwede nila i-open yung Clefable, pwede nila i-open yung Blissey. Millions of, di naman millions, hundreds of options ang pwede nilang gawin.
Exactly, pero To give you guys context kung ba't gano'n ang aking mga terminology ngayon ay tungkol sa parlay, mga kababayan. Eh, syempre, shoutout sa Paldo Gods dyan. Kasi,
Sino ba yan? Sino ba yan?
ang members ng Paldo Gods, papakalanan ko na. 2 sa Exosia, 2 sa Umento, 1 sa Talon. Tapos isa, bawal pangalanan, bossing namin yon. Si Sai, si Jet, from Exosia. Sa Umento, yung 2, si Abad, tas si Ryu. Tas sa Talon, si Lance David.
Ako yung bakit kinakabahan ako sa'yo? Parang ikaw yung mawawalan ng trabaho eh. Parang hindi na kita makikita next month sa June eh. Parang ikaw yung mawawala.
Nakikita nyo pa ako.
Sabi mo pare eh.
Nakikita nyo pa ako. Nakikita nyo pa ako dito. 3 taon! Papi, 3 taon na ako dito!
Pre, tinan mo, akala ni Dream pre yung laban dito OKC versus Denver Nuggets pare sa mga pinagsasabi mo.
Ah, sorry. May pag-shoot kasi nangyayari, kumbaga mga buzzer beater, mga gano'n.
Pre, akala ko sa team lang namin may ganito yung mga parlay. Pare, meron din yan sa amin, pare.
Oo.
Alam mo yung pare, ito kasi yan, pare. 'Di ba? Pag gabi usually may scrim yung mga team, 'di ba? So syempre, pag panalo yung scrim, edi walang argument, pare. Pero pag talo sa scrim, may pagtalo pare, may argument 'yan. Tapos sa sobrang stress, maya-maya, makita mo yung mga screenshot o parlay. Talaga naman makita mo, pare, ano ba taya natin dito? Isipin, yung analytics, pre, yung analytics na iniisip niya.
Napakagaling eh.
Ang galing! Imbis binubuhos nila, pre, imbis binubuhos nila sa Pokemon Unite, pare, binubuhos nila sa parlay, pre. NBA Finals.
Ay, nako. Kung may sasabihin lang ako, yung mga yan, mga, akala mo, thesis project. Talaga kumukuha ng percentage. Ito, pwede ba to? Pasok yan.
Oo. Pare, kulang na lang maging certified statistician sila ng mga thesis eh, pare. Isipin mo yung statistician, pare, may mga kita yan eh, may mga income. Meron talaga, pare. So, tignan natin, no. Alam mo, pare, parang gusto ko magpa-event, imbis na Pokemon Unite, kung mga teams ng PU, pare, magpapaparlay tayo.
Oo.
Yung prediction, tingnan natin kung gaano kagaling sila mag-predict ng mga outcome, pare. Kasi,
maganda. Kunwari, Champions League.
Yan.
Ito, ako na nagsasabi, guys. Pag lumabas ang playoff bracket, ang makakahula ng perfect playoff bracket, merong 300 sa akin. O, sige.
Hindi, ganito daw yan, guys. Ipapala rin daw si Kaorino na next ACL ay maging caster siya.
Ay,
yung isang araw na sahod niya, pag na-perfect niyo yung parlay, sa inyo na raw.
Oo, sige.
Isang araw na sahod. So, abangan nyo na lang, no? Kung gano'ng kalaki yung magiging sahod ni Kaorino, abangan nyo na at mag-isip na kayo ng mga probabilities dyan.
Ano yun? Nasa ano rin yun? Sa
Ayan. Pare, may nagchat sa akin, sabi niya, pakilala ko na raw kung sino yung tropang parlay doon sa team ko, pare eh. So, ayan, shoutout nga pala, of course, kay Shiro, no? Tsaka kay Kite, ng mga tropang parlay dito. Na formerly, Girox Esports na nag-merge, no? So, yun nga pala, for the narrative, guys, no?
Sayang yung Girox Esports. Isa na lang,
pare. Pero, medyo may nangyari kasi. So, definitely, since maraming graduating sa Girox Esports, yung mga tira-tira, nag-migrate to another team, which is Ethereum Esports, no? Tapos, sumama doon yung mga iba nating tropa from Thunderclap, si Shiro, si Kite, tsaka si Dark. So, yun na yung composition nila. Tapos, yung tatlo from Girox Esports, si Revenis, si Joker, tsaka si Malware, pare.
Ay, mukhang mainit.
Mga bago.
Mainit yan team na yan. Abangan. Pero ito muna ating abangan, Isen Exosia versus Isen Momento. Pagkatapos nitong laro, kakausapin niyo si Boss Jay na. Dahil sinabi sino daw ang mga miyembro noon. Mali yata ang aking pag-reveal ng roster. Actually gumawa ako ng nag-story ako nag-5 ban sila. Nag-5 ban sila. Tinori ko, gawa ng init onte. Pero ang pinag-usapan nila doon, wag na, babalik na tayo doon mamaya.
Bumalik muna tayo dito, pare. Trabaho muna, pare, kasi isipin mo, pare, 1 minuto na yung laro, hindi pa natin pinag-uusapan yung laro. 8:50 mark na, nakakuha na sila ng mga Swablu, tsaka Altaria, pero yung usapan natin, pare, layo pa rin eh.
Malayo pa rin eh. Gusto ko yung bakbakan na agad pero ngayon mukhang controlled ang ating mga players, ang ating teams, kasi they know na this is a huge match. Talagang kailangan nila manalo dito sa best of 3 na to. One mistake could be very fatal. Ito na nga, Tempest. Talagang binabalatan niya si teammate. Laban natin yung teammate dati. Oo mga teammate. Ba't ba kasi tayo natalo sa ano? Sa Luminosity.
Kasi tayo natalo, pare. Konti na lang Konti na lang talaga. Ayan na. Uy, pero ang ganda ng play rough, pare ha. Smooth KO talaga para sa Omento, pare. 24-7. Sana maka-score yung Exhaustion ng isa para Kobe Bryant tayo ngayon.
Medyo tawag ito, medyo contradicting. Smooth, di ba? Smooth pero play rough, pare. Kumbaga, may pagka-smooth kasi sa rap minsan.
Ayun.
Minsan kailangan yun, yung play rough. Para maging smooth ang
yan.
resulta.
Take the risk talaga, no? Para yun yung inaabangan natin. Pero speaking of risk, eto na yata yung risk na gagawin ng Omento papunta sa itaas.
Eto na nga talaga ang magiging risk nila. Take the risk or lose the chance. Pero nakita nila dito ngayon, si Sign, the probability master, umiikot-ikot. Eto na nga, mukhang malaking labanan to ha. 5 versus 4. Ang bakbakan, ang pag-abante ng Isen Exosia, magiging sapat nga ba? Luke Lewis shot, hit lang sa likod. Tamang okay lang yan, teammates. Makakabangon pa tayo pero mukhang ako nang hindi pa bangon sa susunod. Buhay pa rin naman siya dito pero nakuha ng Berry. 2 KO streak now from Sign. And the dark horse of this tournament proving himself. Masyadong matagal na daw siya nagpahinga. And Isen Exosia making things happen. Kaso mukhang may omen sa early game. Tapos hindi na nanalo ng early game. Sila yung nabibigyan towards the league.
Naku po, mukhang pangit na adhikain yung sinasabi mo dito, Kaori ha. Pero mind to tell you, eto na, yung Lapra, sinisimulan na nga kagad yung Regi. So tignan natin kung maging alerto ba nga ba dito ang Isen Exosia. Unti-unti na silang bumababa, pero may nagzazone sa kanilang dalawang members doon ha.
Talaga. Tayo na nga, no? Mukhang babagsak ko dito yung Regi Ice sa ating ibaba. And that's going to be the Regi Ice now down. Heavy Slam comes in from Tempest. Mukhang tuloy pa rin ang kanilang pagbakbak dito sa ibaba. Bubble Beam would secure someone pero would not be enough. Tuloy pa rin naman dito ang pag-abante ng Isen Omento. Pushing the things, pushing the pace. Mukhang may iwan dito ngayon si Sent. Just backing away. Pero tuloy pa rin naman dito ang laban. Ng grabe yung damage doon from that Mimikyu. It's going to be enough. Fifth Leaf together with the team Isen Omento pushing the things forward. CNC now committed by Sai. Napakalaki ng shield niya pero will it be enough? 3 members still down bottom for the side of Isen Omento. At ayun na nga, babagsak na rin dito yung Arma Rouge. And you know, Isen Omento, ito yung sinasabi ko na parang omen na nakakabawi sila. Napapakitaan nila ng galaw dito yung Isen Exosia na hindi sila mabawi. Pero mukhang may pagbawi rin naman na gagawin ng Isen Exosia. That is going to be the Queen's Ascendant, committed and used at babagsak siya doon. And ayun na nga, 174 to 109. Huge lead now for Exosia once again mga kaubayan. Mukhang nahanap nila yung groove and rhythm nila.
Rhythm na nakikita natin dito from Isen, Omento, and Exosia as well. Medyo pantay na yung laban natin ngayon kasi kanina medyo one-sided lagi yung mga early games natin. Pero ngayon, simula 5 minutes, 10 to 5 minutes of the game, dikit na yung laban natin dito. Lahat may bawi, lahat may cross-map. Pero eto yung pwesto nakukuha masyado ng Isen Exosia to apply more pressure up against Omento. Lalo na etong objectives pa-spawn na sa magkabilang gilid.
Exactly, yan ay nang Ngayon tatakbo dito si ST Pro and he is going to be the casualty, the first casualty before the huge objective. Ngayon tinitingnan nila, hinahanap nila si Tempest. Power Nap would be invested, try and prolong the fight. That is going to secure them that defense sa ating ibaba. Pero hindi pa rin naman dito na-take yung Reggie sa ibaba. And that is going to be the Reggie Eleki pushing up top. So they have no choice but to actually just defend and surrender this Reggie down bottom. Or pwede pa rin naman sila mag-rotate tulad ng ginagawa nila ngayon. They're pushing the issue, they're pushing it forward. Walang power nap dito ngayon yung ating Snorlax. And speaking of no power naps, self-destruct, walang tatamaan dito. And that is going to be the engage onto the back lane. Eva finds Tempest. Queen's Ascendant being used. CNC, ipapop dito ngayon ni Sign. Pero mukhang makakancel. Tuloy pa rin ang laban dito. Lapras Express onto the back lane. It's best served hot. Pero ayun na nga, best served hot. Ayun na nga yung Unite move na pinitawan dito ni Jeff. Sai kaboom! Talagang kaboom in your face as Isen Exosia wipes clean ang Isen Omento 3 KO streak coming in from Sign.
Wales ang Omento dito, pare. Talaga naman nililinis kada miyembro ng Isen Omento at ngayon naman ang Omento walang magawa kundi kumuha na lamang ng wild Pokémons at mag-invest ng XP. Kasi kung napapansin mo kanina, yung mga objectives natin, yung Regirock, yung Regileki, hindi naman siya sa no-bearing na pero the main idea that you can get buffs from it and advantage, hindi na yun taken out of the discussion na yun eh. So, ang goal na lang ng Exosia is makalamang sa XP, knowing that Isa and Momentum can still have a potential in flips. And if they do have the upper hand in XP, mas malaki yung advantage nila maya-maya.
Exactly. And ngayon, si Abad going to push forward. That is going to Charina down for the side of Exosia. Malaking miyembro. And a huge pivotal member for their side has been taken down. And ito na naman yung mga healing galing na pinapakita dito ngayon ni Luke Lewis shot eh. So, that's the problem that they need to fix. And kanina, nakahanapan nila na sagot kasi merong sustain dito si Tempest with the power nap. And now, Reggie Eleki spawning in just 3 seconds. Nauna sa pwesto is a Momento. Onto the backlane ngayon, naghihintay si Niva. He's waiting for the shadow sneak to land. Possibly onto Jeff. Siya yung magiging pinaka good target dito, not to mention. Pero ito na nga ang pag-abanta ng Isa Exosia. The heavy slam would land. Grassy slide din naman, gagamitin dito ngayon. Pero wala pang conversion as of the moment. Play rough, tatama dito kay Tempest. It's going to take a huge chunk of damage. Bubble beam pa. Not to mention, just holding the members in check, holding the members in place. And we have a ball game in our hands, mga kababayan. The Rayquaza now spawning in just 3 seconds. And eto na, the deciding factor. Almost even ground, dalawang teams natin when it comes to XPs and points. So it's up to whoever lands a fatal blow.
Sino nga ba ang tatama at sino ang tatamaan? Pinapoke na dito ng Isa Exosia ngayon yung Rayquaza, unti-unti nilang sinusubukan. That is going to be the Blaziken now almost down, and ayun na nga, nakahanap ng pick ang Isa Exosia. Fly is now being used by Luke Lewis shot onto the back lane, and that will be the collapse that they're looking for. Heavy Slam would be fatal, tatama dito ngayon. Meron pa rin naman ditong Unite moves. May isa pang Unite move na gagamitin dito ang Isen Omento, and that is going to be the play with me. At sa backlane natin ngayon, mukhang tatamaan at mukhang babagsak dito ang ating Sarina. Pero siya ata ang mabibigyan. Miva trying to fight for it. Mananalo siya. Mapapabagsak niya yung dalawa! At hindi pa sila tapos! Pero makukuha kayo dito ng Isen Exosia yung Rayquaza. Pero matutuloy pa ba nila yung laban dito ngayon? Unite move now being used and invested.
No opportunity!
Going to be Sign trying to run away. Makakascore nga ba siya dito ng 50? Mukhang oo ang magiging sagot. And Isen Momento needs to find an answer. They need to find it quick. Pero mukhang ito na nga rin ngayon ang mga miyembro ng Isen Exosia. The defense is now in. The cancels, sa scores. And oh no! What is happening? Through the team of Isen Momento, napigilan yung counterplay nila, and a crucial last hit for the side of Isen Exosia would cause problems for the side of Isen Momento. 30 seconds left on the game clock for them to work with this. Magiging sapat ba? Sa tingin ko kailangan nilang pabayaan dito ngayon si Sign, because they can play a 4 versus 5 or a 4 versus 4, a shield. Napakalaki pa rin. 22 points though. Nakascore dito ng isa ang Isen Momento. But still, it's going to be 100 points. Mukhang wrong target ang kanilang hinanap. Hindi sila lamang. And OMG mga kababayan, Isen Momento will fall down in the hands of Isen Exosia. And this best of 3 matchup reverse sweep is complete.
Oh my goodness, what a blowout victory ang nakita natin dito. Dikitan from game 1 to game 2 at the first 8 minutes of the game despite someone being ahead. Pero it all boils down talaga kung sino ang makakakuha ng huling halakhak sa may Rayquaza. Tempest with good amount of setups para sa Isen Exosia, providing those heavy slams to give a fatal blow up against Isen Momento. And it is just full of follow-ups for Jeff and ST Pro. Might I tell you, Sign played a huge role as well dun sa kanyang Metagross, unlimited shields, giving Isen Momento a tough time para ma-KO isa-isa ang miyembro ng Exosia.
Kasi kung hindi nakascore dun si Sign, it was game over for the side of Isen Exosia, kasi Isen Momento, all that they need to do was to defend, and not to mention, nakascore din naman dito si 5th Leaf ng 22 points, but it just wasn't enough for the side of Isen Momento. And this time around, they would win this fated matchup. It's Isen Exosia moving forward, and Isen Momento, alam ko hindi pa tapos yung kanilang torneo dito. Kaya ayan.
Eto
Wow.
na. Talaga naman, grabe ang na-witness natin ngayong araw. Pero by the way guys, pasok pa rin naman ang Isen Momento sa ating Masters Engage series. So, pare, ano yung ginagawa mo? Pakamukha mo si
Hindi yan
Alden.
yung ganun kasi.
Ano
Ganun
yan?
yung naging reaction ko sa reverse sweep ng Exosia. Ganun ako.
Ay, nako. Pero yun, pare, balita ko meron pa tayong upcoming series sa ating semifinals too. So, guys, huwag kayong aalis. Konting break muna tayo. And of course, after that, we'll be right back para sa ating series number 2. We'll be back!
We'll be back, guys.
the Isen Warfare na naman, mga kababayan. It's Isen Rego versus Isen Rejects. De, joke lang. The Rejects, mga kababayan. Pero, once again, it's the tale of the tape na will Isen Rego actually secure a grand finals? Will they actually win a tournament? Or will it be the Rejects claiming their former glory and prove themselves as the new and upcoming team to watch and to beat? It's going to be the Rejects versus Isen Rego. Ang makakatapat nila ay waiting na. Tama ba? Direct, paki-confirm kung waiting na po ang Isen Exosia. Teka daw.
Teka lang. Ayun, yes daw. Yes daw. Ayan, yes daw.
Ayan, yes daw, waiting na for finals. And ayan na.
Ayun!
Ito na ating bracket. So, Isen Pretoria will fall down to Isen Exosia 2-0. Habang ang Rejects naman, papabagsakin nila ang Cheat Coders, Crusaders, and Code Unknown. They had a rough tournament when it comes to the playoffs. Babagsak sila ngayon sa mga members ng Isen. So, it's going to be Isen Momento waiting for the third place. Habang Isen Exosia secured for finals. Ang makakatapat nila is ang mananalo dito. It's either the Rejects or Isen Rego. So, puksaan, malala ang ating labanan, mga kababayan. And we're just going to wait and see kung sino ang papasok, literally.
At yan nga pala, no? Ang Team Isen versus Code Unknown Community League na progress na nakikita natin ngayon, no? So, dalawang teams lang, no? Dalawang clan lang pala ang nakapasok dito sa ating top 8. So, wala tayong Thunderclap ngayon, wala tayong Talon. Of course, Talon did not participate. Rated PG rin, wala ngayon. Actually, nandito sila ng tournament pero hindi sila nakapasok. And same thing with PNK or Pikachu. Hindi rin sila nakapasok sa ating top 8. But, going back to the main topic, Isen Rego versus the Reject. Isen Rego, for sure sila na yung minamatahan ng mga fans natin na baka mag-champion para sa Fairy Zone dahil ang Isen Momento wala ng chance para makabangon pa because they will just play for the third place. Pero the Rejects, huwag din nating itanggi ang potential nila, ang powerhouse lineup nila nakaranas na ng World Championships.
Ang powerhouse rookies, the Rejects. Ngayon ko lang nakita yung mga yan sa tournament scene.
Bago-bago yung team nila, pare, no?
Bagong salta. And they are proving their worth this time around. Ito yung healthy sa community. Mga bagong players yan. Sila Dremt, sila...
Mga healthy talaga.
Si Dremt, si MXI, si... mga pumunta, mga nagbakasyon lang yan. Mga nagbakasyon lang yan sa... Sa ano? Saan yun? sa Aloha.
Yan. Hawaii. Yan! Aloha, sabi ko, inisip ko, Aloha, Anaheim? Sabi ko gano'n. Yung Anaheim, ngayon yun Hawaii, yan. Honolulu, ayun pare, Honolulu, Hawaii. Yan! Naitama na natin pare, medyo na-buffering tayo doon. Aloha. Diba, yan, mga ganyan ang introduction natin. Pero ito na ang introduction. Bagong-bago. Pare, JT, MXI, Dremt, Guren, tsaka Crocono. Mga bago-bago talaga yung mga pangalan, no?
Bagong-bago mga pangalan. Si Guren, si JT. Ay, fake Isen. Fan. Siguro naging fan siya. Ngayon lang siya naglaro ngayong season. Oo, tas itong MXI, di ko din naman nakita. Si ang idol ko before na nawala na si...
Yung ba yun?
Oo, yun si... Pero kayo si na lang si
MXI na lang siya ngayon. Oo, bakit? Mas madali daw sabihin.
Kung magaling ba. Pero I think Crocono is ito, legit information mga kababayan. I think Crocono, sa mga hindi nakakilala, siya si ano ba IGN niya? Zesto Big 250. Ang kauna-unahang shoutcasting buddy ko. Shoutout kay kay Crocono, si Lemu. Si Lemu, di ko alam kung yung IGN niya, pero Crocono na siya ngayon mga kababayan. Ito na nga ngayon. The upcoming, ang inaantay-antay, ang kanilang bayad. Isen Rego.
Ayan na.
Oo. Si Kiawe Pasio. Tsaka si
Kiawe Pasio yan no?
Si Chaewon Bandal. Sama pa si Ray, also known as, ano bang nickname ni Ray?
Ano bang bansag niyo dyan ngayon kay Ray?
Ano yan Admin on FB, Angelo Kanji.
yung magkakasama kayo pare na imagine mo. Tapos yan, di ba setup kakasama kayo. Kaya na lang sa Facebook pare, ito pangalan niya, yung mga ganon, no?
Ganon. Stazlak. Ay, Stazlak.
Oo.
Mali yata eh.
Ano?
Mali.
Mali, pare!
Mali. Pero belated happy birthday to Kiawe and Jemero this weekend lang sila
Yan.
nag-birthday. Happiest birthday and also shoutouts once again sa Rejects, kay JT, kay Guren, kay Dren, kay Crocono, and kay MXI, former players of Blacklist International, ang former Isen Omento na kaagaling lang, bagong-bago lang from Worlds last year. So, it's going to be a fierce match-up this time around. It's all joy and fun here, mga kabayan, sa ating community league. So, sumali na kayo. Make sure na paramihin nyo yung teams natin. Sana palitan na tong mga player na to.
Nagsasawa ka na ba sa kanila, pare? Parang ayaw mo na sila makita.
Nawiwili. Mga
Nawiwili
nawiwili na. So, ito na pangit tayo sa
Buwan-buwan
draft.
buwan-buwan humahakot ng mga prize pool yung mga yan. Pare, kaya ito nagtatawag ng bagong competitor eh.
Oo. Naghanap na ako ng mga...
Kailangan nila ng puhunan, pre.
Sa bagay. Pero, going back to the draft, mabilisan lang. The Mamos wine together with that, actually, maganda yung lineup ng Rejects dito na they have bulk at the same time they have consistent damage. And not to mention, MXI now playing the defender role. I mean, it's not that far from a support role. So, a role change for MXI this time around. Pero syempre, Dream attacker, JT, it's going to be your top lane, and Guren would play the central area. If I'm not mistaken, last good placing din dito yung team ni Guren. So, he transferred from that team into this new super team na inaabang-abangan natin ngayon. East Rego versus the Rejects will be underway in just a short bit. Any expectations sa ating seryeng ito? Over 2.5 maps or under 2.5 maps?
Ang hirap masabi, pare, kung sino nga ba talaga yung makakakuha ng panalo dito eh. Kasi, I mean, both of them are capable to compete in the Worlds, no? For objectively speaking. Former Worlds and a team who almost got into Worlds ngayong taon, no? Kasi, East Rego, they fell short somehow in WCS. They bulldozed their way papuntang upper bracket finals, and they came short up against Isan Amento nung lower bracket run. So, maraming possibilities, maraming scenarios, and marami tayong kailangan i-consider on who's gonna win these series and advance to the finals. Pero one thing is for sure, talagang magkakabigayan ang dalawang teams natin ngayon. We have seen a lot of fans dito sa comment section natin for Rego. And nagtatanong kung nag-disband na daw po ba yung Talon. Ang sagot ay nagpapahinga lang sila dito sa community. So here we go!
Ayaw magpabasa ng ating Talon. Paldogs na ho yun, mga kababayan! Meron na silang waiting trip to Anaheim. So, ayun. Sa mga nag-aalala dyan, sa mga visas nila, sa tingin ko hindi nyo na kailangan alalahanin kasi nagpunta na ho sila last year. Pero ibang parte ng USA. So, let's support Talent PH sa ating upcoming Worlds. Siyempre, huwag natin kalimutan yan. Pero ngayon, ito ang ating labanan kung saan pinapalaki at hinuhubog na natin ang ating mga next contenders for the crown, kasi we know that, you know, Talent PH would secure us that slot once again. Yung ilan slots natin before? Dalawa, di ba?
Dalawa. Bali siya, 2+1 kasi dalawa sa PH qualifiers, tapos isa sa LCQ. So, nagkaroon tayo ng, supposedly 3 dapat, pero hindi nakapunta yung Elevate nung last year WCS eh.
Oo, hindi sila nakapunta ng last year yes, so 3 slots nga pala. I forgot na Elevate was, unfortunately, kaya this time around, it's about bringing pride and the glory back. Ibalik ang corona sa Pilipinas. Pero ngayon, ito na ang ating unang bakbakan. It's going to be just a scoring game for the side of East Rego that would be successful on their end. They dumped down scores and that would be good for them. Pero may bawi pa rin naman ng Rejects dito sa ating ibaba, scoring their own and actually trying to invade this time around. Pero ma-check sila ngayon ni Chaewon. Chaewon is now here and they could do something, but that is going to be the attacker now down for the side of East Rego. And hindi pa nila inahabol si Guren dito. Guren quite deep into enemy territory. Ito na nga si Chaewon ngayon with the eject, pero hindi natama, but it would be enough to take down that Metagross. And, East Rego would be very happy with that one, pero at the same time, Rejects din naman
they're very happy with the XP and the point advantage that they are, currently having.
Oo, chill gameplay lang talaga ang pinapakita so far dito, no, ng Rejects and ng Grego. Tulad nga na sinabi mo, palitan lang ng scores dito, walang masyadong maaasim na teamfights, pero ito na yata yung inaantay nating teamfight na maasim.
Talagang nag-aasim at maasim ang ating labanan, bubuhatin doon pero to no avail. Blaze Kick talagang para maipit pero wala munang babagsak for the side of the Rejects. They're just way too slippery and that is going to be a big dub for the side of the Rejects.
Big dub nga talaga ang kanilang nakuha doon, and right now, point conversion hindi nga lang pupunta para sa side ng Rejects. Great defense nga pala dito para sa Rego.
Nice defense for the side of Eastern Rego. At ayun na nga, that is going to be JT now down for the side of the Rejects. Ang laking problema ng Gravity dito, hindi sila makagamit ng skills masyado. The Surf would push Duren away, pero yung healing galing na binibigay naman dito ngayon ni Crocono would be fatal. Pero ayun na nga, dropping to low HP. And finally, central laner now down for the side of the Rejects. Not to mention, Eastern Rego got the Regirock doon sa ating ibaba mga kababayan. That is going to be very huge play rough. Would be used here by JT pero it won't be enough. And still, the Regi Eleki up top available. Nakuha na ng Eastern Rego yung lamang in XP and in points. Pero they need to act quick kasi the Rejects, they have their members invested here on the top pack.
Vested nga talaga dito ang Rejects at ngayon kinukuha na nga nila ang Regileki ng mabilisan lamang. Pero ito ang vision ng Rego. Alam nila kung ano nangyayari, but here comes the engage and the result will still be... It's not the same! Nakuha ng Rego!
And actually, that was a huge thing. And di ko alam paano niya nakuha yun. Wow, Eastern Rego, it was huge for them, and the point that they dumped in was huge as well. 100+ point lead now for the side of Eastern Rego would be very fatal. At bago na ba yung animation? Or nirevamp ba dito yung ating Delphox? Nakita mo yun? Yung ano niya, fire spin niya? Parang nag-stay lang siya doon, tapos bigla siya umikot. Or hindi na homing yung fire spin ngayon ni Delphox.
Si FL pare. Ayun nga no, hindi siya gumagalaw ngayon. Okay. Medyo ngayon ko lang ata siya napansin eh. Ayan, gumagalaw.
Parang siguro visual effects.
Visual effects yan pare kasi baka naka-low graphics lang tayo dito pero fanciful fireworks inilapag na nga kagad ang mabilisan dito, Pauli.
And that was a huge fanciful fireworks and 2 KO streak coming in from Kiawe. And that would be huge for the side of Eastern Rego. Defender level 10 for them. Hindi pa rin tapos dito ang kanilang pagpasok. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin naman Kiawe on the back lane. This team is proving and doing wonders. And just like that, 3 members down for the side of the Rejects and they will be forced back into their own base. Eastern Rego finding wins left and right. And overwhelming nga dito yung ginagawa nila. And the Rejects, they need to find an answer. They need to find an opening. Hindi nila ma-utilize masyado yung team fighting composition nila kasi lagi silang napipigilan dito ng fire spin ng Delphox. Not to mention, may blaze kick pa to push them away. Tapos meron din namang side up na merong surf. So, ang daming problema ng Rejects dito. They have the composition that they wanted pero it doesn't play well in the hands of the lineup of Eastern Rego.
Hindi talaga, no? Pero ito yung signature kasi ng Eastern Rego. Yung chain CC kung tawagin nila. Chain crowd control is always their answer. Pero ito na ang engage na naman nila, pare!
Ito na naman nga yung engage nila. That is a huge unite move coming in from Kiawe. At ito na nga paghabol nila ngayon. Fanciful fireworks. They just zone away the members. And it's going to be 3 members left for the side of the Rejects. Drem trying his best to stay and live in that fight. Pero mukhang hindi na siya tatagal. Masusunog siya dito ngayon in the hands of Jemeru. And Eastern Rego would only lose 1 but have everything in return. 208 to 68 is your score. Samahan mo pa ng Regi Eleki. The lead is just pumping for the side of Eastern Rego and left and right. They're finding answers. They're finding wins. They're very comfortable in this matchup. And ang ganda, ang linis ng laro nila so far. But the Rejects not out of this one completely. May kita pa natin yung pagbawi nila mamaya. They still have the CNC. They still have the Mammoth Mash. Ang dami nilang pwedeng gamitin dito. All it takes is one good timing. And kung timing lang ang pag-uusapan, it's going to be the veterans that is going to be the one that can pull it off. So, hindi pa tapos yung labanan natin ngayon 3 minutes in. Only a minute left before the Rayquaza spawns.
waiting game na lang inaantay natin dito, ha? 57 seconds, masyado pang mahaba. Pwede pa nilang kunin yung objective dito sa bandang ibaba. Pero I do feel like masyadong sugal yon para dito sa side ng The Rejects. Kasi pag kinuha nila yon, definitely ang sagot ng Rego is pupwesto na kagad sila sa Rayquaza. They can get the L bushes, they can get the bushes inside the pit of Rayquaza, and isang magandang setup lang maabangan nila para makuha yung objective. Pero medyo naging baliktad yung sitwasyon dito, ha. Instead of Rejects getting the Regirock dito, Rego ang kumukuha at ang Rejects kinukuha na ang pwesto sa pit. Walang nakapwesto sa L-bush dito, man, tell you, So, this will be a big advantage pa din sa Rego kasi wala masyado nakaabang sa kanila. They are just focusing on trading gold zones, and this is just a waiting game mamaya sa final stretch.
Literal na waiting game sa final stretch, pero I think Rego got the Reggie down bottom to just, secure the additional buff, the additional XP to bump their Buzzwole to level 13. At ngayon, Rayquaza now spawned in sa ating Thea Sky Ruins, and dito na papasok ang experience game na magpapanik ba dito ang Isen Rego and once again find themselves in a kind of messy race fight. It has been their problem, pero hindi natin alam this time around. The Pokes is in. Grabe nga yung setup doon! Fire Spin would find 3 fanciful fireworks being used. Fly para lang mapunta sa kamay ni Nex. At ito na nga ang Isen Rego. Tuloy-tuloy ang pagbawi at ang pagbagbasag dito sa mga pangarap ng The Rejects. And Leech Life would find another 4 KO streak for Nex. And Rayquaza claimed. And just like that, surrender comes in for The Rejects. It was a blowout for the side of Isen Rego. Nakuha ng Rejects yung lamang nung early pero hindi na tumagal. Momentum was in the hands of Rego at hindi na nila binitawan. First game secured. And oh my god, we really have a contender in our hands here, folks. Beating out former champions in that fashion, Isen Rego. This team, you have to watch out for them. The harmony in their team. 43k damage on Kiawe. Kaka-birthday niya lang. Mukhang panghanda niya sa second celebration niya ngayon. 43k on a defender.
Defender,
Wow.
by the way. Ang ganda ng kanyang binibigay na Moonlight Trance setup, by the way. Kasi once na nag-land yung fire spin ni Jemiru, ang kasunod nun is si Kiawe with the Moonlight Trance. And not just that, they also have Ray that can offer an minimum amount of crowd controls, no? So, ang dami nilang backup setup, and not just a backup setup, yung setup nila is very huge, no? Kasi yung fire spin, masyadong maraming oras ang nababay. I do believe that's around almost 2 seconds. Tapos yung Moonlight Trance, aangat pa siya, no? Definitely, they can dodge the skill, and at the same time, they can dodge the move rather, and at the same time, kaya nila mag-provide pa ng additional stun towards those team fights. So, grabe yung coordination and yung timing. Sobrang linis for Rego. They just need an opportunity. Kahit ganong kaganda pa yung setup ng Rejects, if that fire spin hits them, it's already over, almost over for the side of Rego kasi timing lang ang kinakailangan nila talaga.
Talagang ikot-ikot lang ang ginawa doon ni Jemro, no? Talagang yung mga fire spin na yun, it was very crucial, especially doon sa ating final fight. Saktong-sakto yung pagpasok ni Kiawe with the
Moonlight Trance.
not exactly Moonlight Trance, yung ano niya,
Foul play. Aliba.
Snarl.
Snarl. There we go.
Snarl doon ni Kiawe.
Bakit may sound effects yung Snarl mo, pare?
Ganun yun eh. Siyempre, alam mo naman, kailangan natin magpasikat. Kita mo naman yung setup natin ngayon. Parang, gets mo naman, di ba?
Gets naman.
I-immerse ko na yung sarili ko eh. Parang, may napapansin ka tong setup natin ngayon. Shoutout sa ating prod team. Parang, kaparehas ng...
may kapareho ng ano eh. May kapareho siya pero hindi ko maalala.
Kung saan pumaldo si Pika Yules?
Oy, bakit ako? Hindi ako yung...
Solo cast all day, mga kababayan.
Anong solo kasi nasabi mo? Pero pakinig daw ulit nung Snarl. Paano daw ba yung tunog? Gusto nating marinig ulit. Pero tignan natin. Sige nga, i-demo mo nga pare. Ayan, naka-off mic. Mas maganda. Mas made-demonstrate mo kasi baka nahihiya ka lang sa camera.
Ganun.
Ayun.
Si Snarl, ganun.
Ganun pala. Grabe, solid ng mic.
Baka naghahanap sila ng visual effects artist sa iba pala yun. Ano ba dapat? Yung nag-a-applyan ko? Sound effects engineer?
Hindi, pre, yung dubber, pre, yung dubber ng ng mga movie, pare. 'Di ba? Isipin mo yung sa GMA, 'di ba? Tinatagalog nila yung mga anime, tsaka sa ABS-CBN.
Oo. Pwede. Ano, Pokemon lang ako? Kailangan pa i-dub?
Gusto ko ang i-dub mo, pre, sino ba magandang i-dub na Pokemon? Mag-search nga tayo ng Pokemon dito. So, bigay ka nga ng number 1 to 1,000.
782.
782 Pokemon.
782.
So ang idadub mo ay si Jang Mo. Kilala mo si Jang Mo?
Oo, yung
Pseudo yung Pseudo Legendary sa sa series ng Sun and Moon. Yung si Como yung final evolution niya. Alam mo, ngayon ko lang naalala itong Pokemon na to nung sinerch natin kasi hindi ko siya masyadong nagamit sa paglalaro ko ng Sun and Moon. So, manay mo naman, Pokemon Unite, baka lang naman, no?
Pa-tournament sila, no? Mga, Sword and Shield, hindi pala. Mga Scarlet and Violet. Mga ganun. Pero ibang community yata may handle ng mga
Ibang
kabayan.
community yata pare, hindi PUPH yun eh.
Pero ito na nga, nakuha pa rin dito ng Rego yung ating Psyduck, pero the rejects, they got the Suicune, which is malakas pa rin. It's still very much in the meta, so they're switching things up. A support Suicune together with a defender Lapras. So Lapras seeing some love this time around, nakikita na natin siya uli. Pero gusto ko makita yung moveset na Perish Song. Na I remember the good old days. Talagang ang dami nag-Perish Song na Lapras. Tapos Lapras is being used as a top laner. Tapos pure damage build. Good times.
I think it's still a possibility sa lineup dito ng sa lineup ng The Rejects, no? Kahit na naka-XP share yan, the fact na meron kang Curse Incense is already enough to use Perishong. So, it's still a possibility para sa kanilang side, but I do love the fact na kinuha na kakagat dito ni Crocono yung Suicune kasi si Kiawe is one of the big fans of Suicune here. Rego to be specific, lagi sila nagra-run ng Suicune dito as defender. So, Kiawe was forced to use Snorlax instead, no? So, if we're taking a look at crowd control composition, medyo ginagaya or medyo nakuha ng rejects yung idea ng draft kanina ng Rego.
Kumbaga sila yung magko-convert nun this time around, pero very, very kind of reminiscent pa naman kasi they still got the Blaziken together with the Psyduck. So, ang may iba lang dito is wala silang Moonlight Prance pero meron silang Heavy Slam na manggagaling kay Kiawe, tapos Gemeru with that Sylveon. I think the rejects, they have a very interesting composition. Seeing this Garchomp, ang daming nag-Garchomp ngayon, napapansin ko rin sa ating Philippines. I mean, I think they want to utilize the absurd damage that it deals once na nakakuha to ng spacing. Pero knowing na may Psyduck and Snorlax, it could run yon, it could run block. So it would hard counter the Garchomp na gustong pumasok dito sa backlane ng Isenrego.
That's actually a great pointer, no, coming from you, Kari. Pero might to tell you as well na meron tayong Scissor or Scyther dito at the side of Reject. So I do feel like this is going to be a Scyther, knowing that they need someone na kaya mag-shred down ng main attacker ng Isenrego. So they need to take down Gemeru as fast as they can kasi medyo magiging problema yung Hyper Voice maya-maya if hahayaan lang nila si Gemeru sa may backline. So Guren is the perfect person, the perfect trainer to take down the main damage dealers dito ng Isenrego mamaya in towards team fights. Kasi si Drem, kaya niyang saluhin yung buong front line with that fire spin. Sobrang laki, may kasama pang fanciful fireworks, and that would just give Guren an opening para makuha yung backline damage ng Rego.
Talaga. Pero, it's just going to fall down kung sino ang mas makapag-execute ng kanilang game plan. And Gemeru, birthday boy, napakaganda na skin sa Sylveon. Shoutouts. Together with Kiawe din naman, talaga nagpapakita na skins dito ang ating mga kababayan. And game number 2, this could be Isenrego closing the series out or the rejects extending and taking us to another game number 3.
Game number 3. So far sa broadcast, guys, may isa na tayong game 3. Pero yung mga off-stream natin, nakita ko puro 2-0 eh. So, baka naman gusto nyo rin gawing... Hindi. Gusto ko 2-1 pare. Yung nga pala ng mga caster ng 2-0 kasi boring daw, pre. Alam mo yung kasabihan, boring daw, kaya dapat game 3 palagi.
Pero medyo nadulas ka ata doon yun.
Hindi. Sino na sabi nadulas ako, pare? Walang nadulas, pare. Gusto namin, may game 3. Kung best of 5 gusto namin, may game 5. Tapos bracket reset pa, pare. Yun ang mga favorite ng mga caster.
Parang nangyari sa yon sa ACL.
Oo, pa. Hindi, pre. Hindi. Ay, oo, ACL yun, pre. Tsaka, winter tournament, yung talon, pre. Yung muntik na tayo ma-jumpscare ng Team K. Talaga namang nakakilabot. Ang ganda ng aksyon. Walang kapagod-pagod, pre, by the way. Walang kapagod-pagod.
Oo, walang kapagod-pagod. And ngayon, mukhang walang kapagod-pagod pa rin naman ang ating teams. No signs of slowing down. Medyo mas maingat sila this time around. The 4-man rotation of Ethan Rego. Once again, nandito, napakaganda ng scoop doon na ginawa ni Chaewon to just, get those swab loose. Pero, it's still a very good thing for the side of the rejects kasi this way, they can
Napakaganda.
defend the goal zone and not have any casualties like earlier na nangyari sa labanan natin. So, the matchup now is that sobrang stable ng ating labanan. And Ray kind of deep into enemy territory pero makakatakas pa rin naman siya dito. Makakatakas pa rin naman siya dito and Kiawe picking up the first KO of the match. That is going to be the Lapras down for the side of the Rejects.
Pero grabe yung binibigay na vision nga pala dito ni Ray. So definitely a very efficient information para sa side ng Ethan Rego in order to know what they can prioritize at the early stages of the game. And so far, defender and supporter lang ang sa may gitna. No attackers at the side of Ethan Rego.
No attackers for the side of Ethan Rego pero mukhang may ipit ngayon dito si Ray and that is going to be Ray now down for the side of Ethan Rego at mukhang mali yung ginawa ni Kiawe. So he's going to get taken down as well and Chaewon now low on HP would be taken down. Almost natama yung Blaze Kick pero no conversion. Makakahanap sila ng isa pero it won't be enough. That is going to be next. The only one left standing. Hindi tatama yung final serve coming in from Ray and that is going to be the reject. Finding a favorable fight. Sakto naman doon yung heavy slam coming in from Kiawe. That is going to be the Scyther now down for the side of the rejects. At MXI just scoring the points in. At siya ang magiging next casualty for the rejects. 72-0. It's like the rejects, naggumising na sila. Talagang nakita na nila yung momentum nila. Tama na. Download game only. Let's get serious. Ipakita ang ating experience. Ipakita ang ating prowess this time around. Mukhang dedepensa pa rin naman sila dito. Guren finds one. Ray now down. Block comes in from Kiawe pero siya na ata talaga ang next. Yeah, siya na ang next na babagsak doon. And 2 KO streak for Guren. And makakahanap naman ng isa doon si Nix onto the backlane. United move now. Use 3 KO streak. Make that 4 KO streak coming in from Guren and so smooth coming in from the rejects. Naghahanap siya ng panlima. And Jemeru trying to run away pero makakatakas pa rin siya.
Oo, medyo kailangan mag-ingat dito ng Ethan Rego kay Guren. Knowing that Guren is already scaling a lot of XP and they need a big shot down para makahabol nga kagad ang kanilang Blaziken and at the same time their other members as well because this will be a huge threat for them.
Exactly. It's going to be a very huge threat for them. And now, ready still. Almost down. Makukuha to ngayon ng ating team Ethan Rego. And they would find another huge trade doon sa ating ibaba. Nakahanap naman sila ng favorable fight. Nagmamat muna sila doon. At mukhang nahanap nila ang perfect solution. And that would be it. Lamang ngayon ng Ethan Rego when it comes to the points and XPs as well. So, just like that, once again, isang maliit na pagkakamali ng rejects, Ethan Rego was fast to punish. At ngayon, nasa enemy territory na sila ngayon. Here comes next with the play rough. Tatamaan niya ngayon dito si Guren. Guren now down and that is going to be MXI going to be the next casualty for the rejects. And 2 KOs just like that, swiftly, napakabilis for the side of Ethan Rego. And yeah, the pace of their gameplay is just too fast.
Yeah, sobrang bilis talaga and might tell you that Jemeru caught up a lot in terms of XP. Level 11 na siya, mas mataas yung level niya up against Guren, might to tell you which is a central laner. So medyo malaking problema na nga ito para sa side ng reject, so they need to be very careful as much as possible.
They need to be very careful indeed. Kasi kung hindi sila mag-iingat, I mean, they could just blow out their lead just like that. Pero Ethan Rego ngayon, mukhang may iwan lang doon. It's going to be Ray. Now, one member down for them. Croconaut is defending this goal zone up top. May kita na si Chaewon, so that means they would have to invest their members sa ating top pack.
Lapras Express!
Ayun
Hala
na,
ka!
Lapras Express, tinamaan dito ngayon.
May tinamaan na siya! Direct, nasa na! Ayun na!
Babagsak na dito ngayon, finally si Nix. And ayun na nga, the Unite moves coming from Jemeru, pero it won't be enough. And just like that, sinasabi ko, isang pagkakamali lang ang hindi nyo kailangang gawin. Pero ginawa nyo. and the Rejects were quick to capitalize out of that one. At ayan na nga ngayon, 100 point lead in a blink of an eye. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin naman dito ang pag-abante ngayon ng the Rejects. Kiawe using the Unite move. Pero it won't be enough. Wala pa rin babagsak. Play with me. Being committed by Nex. Buhay pa rin naman dito yung Garchomp. Pumapalo at bumabawi ang kanyang buhay. With the sustain, with the lifesteal. Pero Reese and Rego, they have no chill in this fight as 5 members down for the side of the Rejects. And Reese and Rego losing no one. Bawian, kaliwat kanan. Pero lamang pa rin naman ang Rejects when it comes to the points department. So, Isen Rego still playing onto the back foot. Heading into our Rayquaza fight. Pero 2 minutes pa rin naman ang iintayin natin. And now, the Reggie Eleki would be the next target.
Yes, next target nga talaga ang kanilang kinakailangan to apply more pressure up against their opposing team. Pero eto Isen Rego, pinapwestuhan na ng maganda ang The Rejects para naman hindi na magpahuli in terms of the objective department.
Exactly, no. Ito na, Lapras Express, walang tatamaan. Fanciful Fireworks now committed. Sino makakuha ng last hit? It would be the Blaziken. And now Isen Rego in with a huge advantage. Hindi sila makamove forward dahil meron pa rin ng mga Fanciful Fireworks. Next,
Ubus na naman!
Find one. Makakarap siya na isa sa likod pero siya ang magiging kapalit. Now 2 members down for the side of the Rejects. And Isen Rego pushing forward. Babagsak na si Kiawe. Mukhang natitirang members dito ng the Rejects will suffer their consequences from the hyper voice na binibitawan ngayon ni Jemiru. And just like that, once again, another team wipe for Isen Rego at nabawi na nila yung points.
And they are the ones driving the seat so far. Medyo nahihirapan na ang The Rejects makabangon after the perfect coordination na pinakita dito ng Isen Rego. And I just love the idea of the hyper voice coming from Jemiru na walang masyadong makapita sa side ng Rejects para mawala yung backline damage na napoprovide dito ni Jemiru. That has been the main problem for them. Medyo shifted yung attention nila into 2 sets of team fights na nangyayari at the same time, making Isen Rego a formidable opponent dahil meron silang side up for that another set of team fight, and set of team fight, meron silang Snorlax which is Kiawe. So, the Rejects, ang solution is to create a one big fight and sustain everything knowing that they have a chain crowd control on their arsenal.
Exactly. Chain crowd control would be the name of the game for the side of Isen Rego. Maganda na dun yung heavy slam ni Kiawe pero walang conversion. Talagang hanapan muna sila dito. It's going to be the Rejects having the advantage when it comes dito sa ating healing department. Meron silang heals. They have everything that they ever wanted. Pero, one huge setup, one huge power nap, one huge heavy slam could be the end of them. Pero ayun na nga, di pa rin naman na-force dito yung Unite of the Kiawe. On their backline, papasok si Nex and that is going to be a huge power nap, Fanciful Fireworks. Napakaganda ng pagpwesto at paglagay at paglapag at mukhang babagsak dito ang Isen Rego. They're falling down one by one. Guren doing wonders on their back lane. At tatakbo dito ngayon dito si Ray. And that is going to be the side duck down. And now, mukhang babagsak na rin ata si Che-Won. Mukhang naghahanap pa rin naman dito ng play si Jemiru pero hindi magiging sapat. 4 members still alive for the side of the Rejects. And Jemiru all alone amidst the chaos. Pero ito rin naman na ngayon si Kiawe. 3 members now up for the side of Isen Rego. Hindi makalapit dito si Jemiru sa ating Rayquaza. It won't be enough. It's going to be the Rejects claiming the Rayquaza and could possibly be claiming the game. Pero depensa for the side of Isen Rego. Magiging enough nga ba? Kiawe still has the block, still has everything. Makakabawas sila ng isang shield. Crocono is trying to run away. Heavy slam with land, pero mukhang makakascore pa rin naman dito ang the Rejects. They would find 2 scores on their end. That is going to be huge. 100 points as well onto the bottom path. That is going to be dreamt. Finding the scores, finding the trades. Suicune takes down the Mimikyu, and just like that, the Rejects finds a huge fight dito sa ating Ray Pit. Securing the Rayquaza and possibly securing a Game 3 dito sa ating serye. And another 100 points to just try and seal the deal. And the Rejects, wow, that was a huge game for them. And ayun na nga, mukhang we have to be juiced sa ating Game 3 ngayon na nandito si Pika Yules. Sinusubukan ang kanyang experience sa mga Game 3 natin, mga kababayan. And wow.
Ay, wow. I mean, the Rejects found the perfect solution. They created the big team fight, diverse Jemiru's attention. It became a 1v1 Guren versus Jemiru, wherein Jemiru still emerged victorious on that 1v1. Pero what happened in the 1v1 as well? hindi enough yung damage ng Isen Rego para patumbahin yung 4 na members dito ng The Rejects, knowing that they have a heavy hitter just like JT, which is a guard champ, no? Talaga namang sobra sulit ng ginawang sugaldom ni Guren. They took out -1, which is Jemiru, kahit siya yung nanalo sa fight nilang 1v1. Pero what was left for Rego? It was the lack of damage that JT could take advantage of dun sa kanilang game.
Exactly, and just like that, the Rejects diverted the attention of the main damage dealer for the side of Isen Rego, and that caused problems for the side of Isen Rego, and that made the Rejects find a favorable 4v4 kasi they have the damage that they wanted, not to mention wala sa proper positioning si Chaewon to dish out damage for the side of Isen Rego, and now we are forced into a game number 3 between the Rejects and Isen Rego. So it's a treat, guys. It's literally a treat. Kung kung malalaman nyo lang ang feeling ng isang caster kung may game number 3, sulit. Sobrang saya.
Napakasaya. Natatanggal lahat ng pagod namin pagka may game 3, pare. Nawawala lahat ng iniisip namin kundi yung laro lang. Yan ang game 3.
Yan ang game 3, guys. Epekto ng game number 3. Tanyo, parang ano pa nga, hindi pa ako pagod. Nakasandal lang ako.
Wala.
Chill lang.
Hindi kailangan magpahinga ni Kauri. PUPH admin, kung nakikinig kayo, so instead sa frigid fluttering natin, instead of semifinals, gawin daw natin lahat from quarterfinals hanggang finals, tapos double elimination bracket. Si Kauri lahat magkakas nun. Noted na raw. Noted na raw. Noted na raw, pare. Noted na raw.
Kaso yung bayad ko dapat times 5.
Hindi. Ganun pa din. Kasi, di ba, nasa komunidad nga tayo. So, komunidad, kailangan natin mag-pay forward, pare. So, bayad. Walang bayad dito. Community league to, pare. Okay.
Ano ba sabi ko?
Yan.
Pero
kaya
game
mo na-
number 3.
Game number 3, pare. Meron pa tayong
Game
game 3.
Sobrang lang sa salamin. Seryoso na ako.
Ay,
Tandaan % lakas.
ganun pala magseryoso ang isang Kauriz. Yan, ang isang Kauriz. Guys,
Kauriz.
hindi yan si Kauri. Si Kauriz yan. Tignan nyo pa sa official Facebook page ng Pokémon Unite.
Ay!
Kauriz. Kauriz,
Official?
guys.
Official page?
Pau, bago na lang, pakidagdagan ng 2 letter Z yung nameplate niya, no? So, hindi yan Kauri. Kauriz yan, guys, ha? Baka, limutan nyo. Yan ang bansag. Kauriz. Huwag yung kakalimutan yan.
Nagulat ako doon sabi ko.
Ayan na, nilagay na. Ibabalik ni, ayan, guys. Remember the name, Kauriz. Yan ang pinaka-peak caster ng Pokémon Unite dito sa Pilipinas, guys. Ayan, no? Alden Recharge. Yan ang...
Alden Recharge.
Hindi siya recharge, pare. Recharge. Nakapag-charge na.
Oo,
So,
talagang
natin-
ready na.
Ready na, pare. No? Katulad ng ating mga team, siguro nagre-recharge lang sila. Kaya medyo natatagalan tayo ng konti para sa ating game number 3. Pero, based on the performance, Kauriz. Ayan, no? Kompleto, ha? Based on the performance, Kauriz, ano yung masasabi mo sa game number 1 and 2 natin? Like, do we have a crystal clear winner ba talaga during game number 3? Or it's still a 50-50 sa tingin mo?
After game number 1, it looked like Rego was, playing the best Pokemon Unite that they could ever play. Game number 2, they were consistent from early game to the mid game, pero hindi nila na-translate leading to the final fight kasi yun nga, na-divert na naman yung attention ni Jemru, na iwala yung attacker nila. Their main damage dealer was was out of sight. So, it was a huge problem for the side of Isen Rego. And now, makikita natin na talagang the Rejects, they have the experience when it comes to those later team fights. And na-outsmart nila yung Isen Rego dito despite Isen Rego having the lead, the XP lead doon sa ating mga labanan. Nakuha nila yung recipe for success, mga kababayan. So, the Rejects taking us to a game number 3. Will this be another reverse sweep? I don't know. Malalaman natin in just a bit. Nag-ready lang yung players natin, guys. So, yeah. Yun ang thoughts ko for games 1 and 2.
Yan. So, grabe talaga yung pangyayari dito. But of course, guys, do not forget that after the Fairy Zone, meron pa tayong mga upcoming tournaments as well. Not just exclusively in the Philippines, but of course, sa buong APAC din as well. Because we do have the upcoming Masters Engage APAC East Group Stage sa May 31 yan, guys. That would happen in Saturday. Next Saturday to be specific. Ay, tama ba? Next Saturday. Next Saturday. Yan, next Saturday. Yan. So, abangan niyo siya, guys. And we also have our APAC Finals sa Masters Engage on the following week, which is June 8. And of course, after that, somewhere around June, we still have our last leg para sa ating Journey Together series, which is the Frigid Fluttering. So, point system nga pala yun, guys. So, as far as I know, of course, Talon is up on top sa ating leaderboards. But of course, that would change eventually right after the Fairy Zone.
Talagang magbabago ang lahat, mga kababayan. So, if you're a team and you still want to have a slot or, gusto mong to come up on stage, syempre, guys, sa Pokémon, lahat ng teams, lahat ng papasok sa top 8 teams when it comes to points, syempre, yung top 8 teams natin yung papasok sa finals ng ating Community League Series Season 3. So, make sure to actually sign up, register, and play your best. Especially kung sa tingin mo, meron kang kayang patunayan. Kung sa ML, sabi mo, ano lang kasi di ako makapasok sa mga Pro League kasi makakilala na yung mga nandun eh. Lipat kayo dito.
Yan,
Dito, it's free mga kababayan. Kailangan lang dalhin nyo yung galing nyo and malalaman natin. Pero, we are now heading to the game, mga kababayan.
Eto na. Pero ito pare, tatanungin kita. Since top 8 teams ang makakapasok sa ating PUTH sa Pokémon, bigyan mo nga ako ng isang malapit na parlay mo, pare. Top 8 teams. Yan, bigyan mo ako ng parlay mo.
Parlay, top 8 teams. Top 8 teams ko would be, syempre, Talon, Omento, Rego, Exosia, Rejects, Fibonacci, Cheat Coders. For my top 8, top 8 mahirap eh. For
Medyo
top
mahirap.
8, it could be it could be binary. It could be binary. It could be binary.
Pwede.
No. Actually, TC Nymeria.
Nymeria, possibly. Kasi nag-top 1 nga pala sila during the Swiss round noong scouting team.
Yes.
So, malaki din yung potential nila, pare. Pero ito ang parlay ko dyan, pare. Siyempre, Talon, Omento, Rego, Fibonacci, yan, Rejects, Exosia. Tapos yung dalawa, medyo mahirap yung dalawa
Kung 6-leg parlay lang yan, Pops, pasok.
Oo, 6-leg lang. Oo, pare, pero 8-leg parlay, pare, medyo dehan tayo So, siguro TC Nymeria, pare, kasama.
No?
For sure, kasi maganda.
Pag pumasok yun, lahat na nasa comment section may utang sa amin.
Yan. Then, I'm not sure for the 8th spot talaga. Kasi rated PG sana, kaso medyo inactive sila lately sa ating tournaments. So,
Ano team mali?
Rated PG. Kaso medyo inactive sila sa leaderboards so we're not sure with that. Ethereum Esports, maganda yung potential nila pero medyo lubog sila sa leaderboards ngayon. Like, isang malaking himala dapat yung gawin nila sa Frigid Fluttering. Same thing with TC Umbra, tsaka PNK. So, I think, objectively speaking, pinakamalaki yung chance is Code Binary sa ngayon.
Kasi they're in the top 8 I mean, not to mention, Nymeria is also in the top 8 ng last tournament natin. And, they're just fighting it out for points. I think magkakaroon naman tayo ng points update after this tournament. Pero ngayon, let's focus onto the big fights.
Pare, huwag natin kalimutan yung Pretoria pala, pare. Nalilimutan natin yung Pretoria. Kasi, ito for those of you who don't know, bali yung top 10 teams natin, makakakuha sila ng total of 2 points. Okay? 2 points. So, objectively speaking, si Pretoria, meron na silang 4 points sa ngayon. Si Omento, meron na silang 5 kung di ako nagkakamali kasi nag-top 4 sila ngayon. So, definitely Talon, Rego, Exosia, Nocturnals, medyo magla-lie down muna sila. Fibonacci will be there, the Rejects as well. Same thing with Omento, Pretoria. Tapos medyo aangat siguro ng leaderboards natin would be siguro Algorithm, aangat sila. Anong number ba yung Algorithm natin na tignan nga natin sa bracket natin. So,
tignan natin, pero
hindi, Glitch Geeks pala yung 10, Glitch Geeks. So, Ethereum aangat ang Ethereum, total of 3 points na sila. So, medyo may pagkapag-asa pa yung ibang teams natin dito. Pero yung mga nakadalawang 1 point na, kailangan magandang himala ang mangyari sa Frigid Flattery.
Kaya talaga every tournament, it matters. Pero if you're Talon, alam kasi nila alam nila yung script Pasok kami dyan, sige, kuha kami points. And gayon, we're just waiting a bit for our game number 3. The most pivotal match for this time around. Will we have a guaranteed Eisen champion? Or will the rejects, try to find an upset against this Eisen heavily favored bracket? Eisen-dominated bracket, mga babae. Kasi 3 Eisen teams made it to semifinals. Ngayon, the rejects, the only non-Eisen team alive in this tournament. So, we'll just have to wait and see. In just a bit, mga kababayan, at ngayon, nag-iintay na tayo. At hindi na tayo mag-iintay pala. We are now in the Thea Sky Ruins for game number 3 ng ating best of 3 series between Eisen Rego versus the rejects. We are now in for a treat, mga kababayan. So make sure to tune in. Huwag kayong pipikit. Walang kukurap, mga kababayan. At eto na. Eisen Rego and the rejects duking it out at Guren playing the Venusaur. Venusaur Central.
Ay, pare. Ito kasi di ba na-buff yung Giga Drain niya nung last 2 patches ba yun? I think last 2 patches yata.
I think it was last patch ata.
Yeah. Hindi. Kasi ang last patch natin, hindi, tama. Last patch. Kasi current patch nga pala ngayon. Current patch yung tawag. So, last patch yan. So, Giga Drain, makikita natin kung ito nga ba yung sinasabi nating immortal na Venusaur, no? Yan yung makikita natin ngayong araw. Kung mama-maximize ba nila yung Giga Drain or pwede naman maging Sludge Bomb actually yung comp nila. So, tignan natin.
Yes, I mean, lagi rin naman natin nakikita pero it was kind of out of the meta ngayon, especially Venusaur itself. So, we'll see in a bit. Pero Giga Drain nga confirmed. It's going to be the Giga Drain Petal Dance, pero that is going to be a 1-swift KO. Next finds the pick-off onto the top path. And just like that, a swift 73 points for the side of Eisen Rego. Nakuha nila yung early playstyle na ginagawa nila, yung 4-man rotation sa itaas. And it was worth it. And now 86-0 ang ating scoreboard. And the rejects, they would have to play slow. Kasi you have a Gabite, you have an Ivysaur, you have a ano yung second evolution ni Fennekin?
Si Brixen. Yan, si
Brixen. You have a Brixen. So, the only option that you have ngayon is the Snorlax. Pero the Snorlax doesn't even have the Heavy Slam. So, mahirap to for the side of the rejects kasi mabagal sobra yung early game nila. In contrast dito sa early game na meron yung Eisen Rego, you have the Pikachu, you have the Blaziken, you have the Mimikyu, and you have itong Crastle na nagbibigay ng wall. And just like that, ngayon, makita natin yung pace, yung tempo ng Eisen Rego. They're all over the map. They are scoring tons of points and they're taking down fights. And just like that, ayun na nga, nakulong sa pader. At wala na nga, hindi na makalaya ang sabi ng Cup of Joe. As Eisen Rego finds the members, 3 KO streak for Nyx, the super rookie, making wonders for this Eisen Rego team.
Hindi na makalaya, pero ang tanong, mumultuhin nga pa talaga sila mamaya? Yan ang pinakamalaking tanong natin so far in this matchup. Pero nakulong na naman ang mga members dito ng The Rejects.
And a huge damage coming in from the Pikachu and 5 members invested here on the top path. Will it be enough for the side of the Rejects? Yes, they find one and they find another. This could be the fight that they're looking for. Pero si Jemiru, meron pa rin naman silang pandepensa dito together with Kiawe na pwedeng magbagsak ng Rock Tomb. Low on HP dito ang Rejects, meron silang healing galing. So, that would be very huge for them. At ang ganda nga ng pagpasok doon ni Kiawe. Pero that is going to be the Reggie Eleki invested and secured by the Rejects. Pero hindi pa rin naman tapos sa pagpasok dito ngayon ng Eisen Rego. Saktong-sakto ang mga kuryente na binabagsak ngayon dito ni Jemiru at napakalupit at napakabagsik ng pinapakita niya in 2 KO streak from the Pikachu. That is going to be a not converted, a not so well played Reggie Eleki push for the Rejects. Wala silang Unite moves doon to make anything big happen. Meron pa rin ang Reggie sa ibaba, so it's still winnable, it's still possible. Gusto nila makuha dito yung level 9 JT. They want to get that evolution ASAP. Pero just like that, sumabog sa sipa ngayon ni Chaewon. Dito ang ating Gabite.
Sabog talaga kaibigan, pero eto na Regirock, lumabas na sa may bandang ibaba. Ano ang game plan dito? Pero a KO once again at the side of Rego, pero mukhang nililinis sila buong The Rejects.
Ayun na nga, no, at sumamit na nga rin dito ng United si Dremt to just Guren rather, to just secure a KO on the side of Ethan Rego, pero hindi pa rin sapat. It still wasn't enough. United as well being invested by Kiawe to try and soak in as much damage. Napakakunat dito ngayon ng Ethan Rego, but now they're low on HP. Hahabol pa rin ba dito ang Rejects? That would be the question. Pero itong mga kuryente na binabagsak ngayon dito ni Jemeru is proving a lot of problems at talagang shockingly amazing was that play! And Jemeru just like that! Wow!
What a powerhouse attacker! Jemeru showing his prowess para bigyan ng malaking pressure ang The Rejects, force them to back away, and of course, get every single wild Pokemons available dito sa Tia Sky Ruins. Grabe kung paano nila pinupush back dito ang The Rejects. They're not giving a breathing room so far at the first 5 minutes of the game. At ngayon, nakaabang kagad sila si Regieleki, and of course, they don't want to give an opportunity once again for The Rejects to do a shutdown and gain those XPs.
Exactly. And ayun na nga mo, ang masisecure parang Ethan Rego dito yung Regieleki. Taas tuloy pa rin naman yung laban. Pasok dito ngayon yung ating Venusaur. It's going to be the fanciful fireworks now invested. Pero si Jemeru once again just melting the members onto the back lane is still not done. What is this man? What is Ethan Rego all about? And what a fight! 5 members down, 2 KOs straight for the Pikachu, make that 3 rather. And that is going to be the Snorlax just trying to defend that goal zone, pero babagsak din naman. They would claim their consolation prize. Next down, 335 to 39 is the score. Ethan Rego, what a fight! This team, man, yung pinapakita nila ngayon, it's just amazing. Pero grabe din naman doon. What a heavy slam coming in from MXI. Ito na nga ba ang hinahanap nilang setup? But Kiawe uses the Unite move to just try and stall away the members. J1 onto the back lane would get taken down by JT. And that is going to be JT picking up one and finding one. Pero Jemeru tumutuloy pa rin naman sa likod. And Jemeru once again finds another. Pero buhay pa rin naman dito ang The Rejects. 2 members, support and defender. What can you do up against 4 members? Pero sila mag-back away just like that. And Ethan Rego not slowing down, not giving an inch, not even giving a window of opportunity to The Rejects.
My, oh my, and it is just The Rejects not having the proper follow-up damages dito and the follow-up sets para sa kanilang side in order to finish the team fights na inaabangan natin kanina. If you saw a while ago, maganda na sana yung heavy slam eject button dito at the side of Rejects, kaso kinapo sila ng damage dealers. Eject back kagad doon si Jemeru, and of course, in order to safeguard his life on that momentum, nag-offer doon ng malaking spacing si Kiawe para mabaling yung attention ng The Rejects, and eventually, reposition, throw out those thunders immediately, at sobrang laking advantage so far ang nakuha dito ng Ethan Rego.
Exactly. At the problem now for the side of The Rejects is that hindi nila mahanapan na sagot yung walls na binabato ni Kiawe, tapos ibababa din sila doon ng mga thunderbolts ni Jemeru. So it's like the wombo combo of Ethan Rego with this composition. And now dito malakas ang Rejects. Tandaan natin, it's the final fights, the fights that actually matter. And 10 seconds left before the Rayquaza spawns in dito sa ating game number 3. Will it be a reverse sweep or will Ethan Rego find the answer that they're looking for? And Kiawe wala nang eject. Pero damage dito ni Jemeru, nakapakasakit. Mukhang mahanap nila dito si Nick sa likod, pero makapag-play rough naman siya and play with me onto the back lane, pero hindi magiging sapat. Maka-back away dito ang Rejects, and that is going to be Nick's down for the side of Ethan Rego. And oh no, what is happening? Meron pa rin namang Unite move dito si Kiawe, pero the Rejects pushing forward, standing strong, standing proud. Pabagsak dito ngayon si Ray. And oh no, Ethan Rego, what can you do? Meron pa rin ba kayong magagawa? Inuubos na dito ngayon ng The Rejects yung Rayquaza, unti-unting bumabagsak. Minumulto ng damdamin nila, minumulto nga, and ba't hindi? Ang sabi dito! Kiawe! Oh my God! Kiawe! With the secure, the birthday boy, MB3! Woo!
ipakita ang lakas. Isen Rego hindi bubultuhin. At sila ang kukuha ng huling halakhak. The Rejects, they got denied by their names as well. And Isen Rego will advance once again into the grand finals of Journey Together Community League.
Oh, wow. What a masterclass finish. Minumulto na ko ng damdamin ko. Ng damdamin ko. Diba ko ni Lisani? Ang sabi dito ng The Rejects. Tamang heavy slam lang dito si MXI. Konting bate sa former Isen bodies. As Isen Rego would be the ones advancing to the grand finals to fight the dark horse of the tournament, being, spearheaded and led by Sign. It's going to be a matchup of the century. Will this be the time where Isen Rego actually finds a win, actually finds a championship under their belt? Ang matagal-tagal nang inaasam ni Kiawe, ito na nga ba? O hindi pa rin? As Isen Rego will claim that victory versus the Rejects in a 2-1 fashion, reverse sweep denied. And wow, what a game.
Grabe. Grabe talaga. Jemiru was definitely the MVP dun sa kanilang matchup. Pero best steal of the season, by the way, by Kiawe. Dumidilim na yung chance ng Isen Rego kanina para makuha yung panalo. It looked like a flip already at the side of the Rejects, pero Kiawe standing strong with the Rock Tombs para makuha ang huling halakhak, and Jemiru is just doing his job. He trusted his teammates na mapipil siya na hindi siya maaabot kamay ng the Rejects. Thunderstorm, Thunderbolt, Thunder, whatever thunder and lightning you provide, Jemiru was there to dish out the damages against Rejects.
Wow, if Jemiru is the thunder that dishes out the damages, we are the Love and Thunder duo, mga kababayan.
Let's go, mga kababayan!
Dito sa ating labanan, and Isen Rego would be the one advancing to the finals to face up against their brothers. And the Rejects naman, ang kakalbanan nila would be Isen Omento sa ating ibaba. Another rivalry brewing, guys. Former teammates would face up sa ibaba habang the new champs would be facing sa ating itaas. Pero yun muna for Fairy Zone. We'll see you in the next tournament. De joke lang, mga kababayan. We're just going to be heading to a short break. Wait lang mga kababayan. Short break lang tayo for a bit. Ano ba next cast natin direct? Would it be the Battle for Third or Grand Finals na? Battle for Third. So, meron pa po tayong Battle for Third bago tayo mag-Grand Finals, mga kababayan. So, maghintay lang kayo. Onting hintay lang. And meron pa tayong 6 games na ikakast.
Yan.
Susunod natin.
6 games, pare.
6 games. Kasi I'm natin best of 3 lahat yan.
Oo.
Talaga abot sa game 3. So, yeah. Fairy Zone, Pokemon Unite Community League Philippines Season 3. Kaoriz and PKUs will be back in just a short bit.
Welcome back, of course, sa ating Pokemon Unite Community League. Dito lang yan sa Pilipinas. And of course, we are having the Fairy Zone for tonight. Big Hills and Kauris pa rin nga pala ang inyong makakasama. Battle for third place, and it is going to be Isen Omento laban sa The Rejects, pare. The new Omento versus the old Omento ang datingan natin para sa gabing ito. Ay, masarap. Masarap yung kinakain ni Kauris, kaibigan ah. Ay, sa lahat na pala nanonood dyan, sana nakapaghapunan na kayo. Just sit back, relax, and watch the show, of course. Pero si Kaori, medyo masarap yata yung kain niya. So, guys, ako ang ulam ko kanina lamang habang nung naka-off-stream tayo, adobong manok with patatas. Lagyan mo pa ng konting sili para sa anghang. Masarap! Ganon. Ikaw ba, Kaori? Anong ulam mo dyan?
Ano? Wala pa Otap lang. Otap.
Otap.
Those crackers, mga kabayan. Ganyan talaga pagka kaya 0929-956-004. Mga naawa lang dyan.
Dinictate ang numero, kaibigan. Isend nyo na raw sa Gcash ni Kaori. So sana may list ng tama-tama, no?
Ano talaga, old Omento versus new Omento.
Mm-hmm.
Talagang makita natin ang Abad effect kasi mind you guys, si Abad Look Louis shot from the side of Isen Omento just got back from the game after not playing for like 4-5 seasons. Ang tagal niya nawala. Pero ngayon, kakasalang lang niya, and the chemistry is working for the side of Isen Omento. They still have some things to fix. Pero papunta na sila doon. Pero the Rejects naman, the core of old Omento, JT, MXI, Drem, super solid. Not to mention, you have Guren na former Talon. Tapos, a solid defender and support player in the hands of Croco naman.
Solid team, solid players talaga ang nakikita natin para sa gabing ito. And of course, might tell you, these teams also fought hard all the way back dun sa group stage natin kagabi, which is the Swiss round. No? So, sobrang dami din nangyari. By the way, Isen Rego in general, they only had 3 wins and 2 losses. And now, they are waiting sa Grand Finals kasama doon ang Isen Exocia, who also got, as far as I know, 2 wins and 2 losses.
Talagang hindi kasi nasasabi yan
Numero lang talaga sila, pare. Numero lang.
Kumbaga, ang nagmamatter is playoffs. Kumbaga ngayon, Denver Nuggets, lang yan? Anong seed ng Denver ngayon? Mga 4th seed, kalaban na number 1 seed, diba? Tapos tie na sila. Kaya talagang pusuan nyo ang underdogs, guys.
Halata ka naman kasi
tama ko?
Halata ka, pre.
Naglalak yung joke ko, naglalak.
Halata ka, pre. Parang feeling ko nakataya ka na pre.
Ay, sorry. Hindi, ano lang.
Ano naman?
Ayun lang, ganun lang talaga.
Naku po, Kaori. Alam ko na yung galawan mo. Ay, naku talaga, guys.
Ay, naku.
Kaori lang yan, guys. Naku po.
Wala akong prediction. Alam ko, super unpredictable.
Super unpredictable ng NBA, no? Ganun din naman yung syempre yung mangyayaring match-up dito ng Isen Omento laban sa Rejects. Ayan na. Sobrang solid ng draft, by the way, dito ng both teams, no? So, kung makita natin, si Luke Lewis, nakaka-cleavable pa rin. So, unlimited healing, galing na naman. And Croco, no, with the Blazy to counter out those crowd controls na mga i-offer ni Ryu, ng Blaziken, tsaka ni Niva, syempre. Ay, actually, lahat ng miyembro ng Isen Omento, kayang i-cancel out ni Croco, no, with that safeguard on his arsenal. And might to tell you, si Drem pa, the usual attacker, ngayon nakarapida siya. So, I'm really quite curious, how could this take effect sa kanilang lineup with the full heal, no? So, is that full heal really enough to cancel out yung crowd control sa meron dito yung Isen Omento para makapag-dish out siya ng maraming damage using the Dazzling Gleam?
Exactly, kasi medyo unorthodox dito yung yung draft ng The Rejects. And for Isen Omento, it's your kind of traditional, reliable, stable composition, habang in The Rejects naman, they opted for something new, something innovative. Yun nga, Dreamt with that Galarian Rapidash. It's going to be very interesting, to say the least, for this first game. Battle for third, guys. Talagang pinaglalabanan nila dito. Not only the money, but also the points talaga. Hindi pinakamahalaga doon.
Magkakalaman na lang tayo dito, no? Tignan na lang natin talaga kung ano yung magiging resulta, no? So, Guys, sa mga nanonood nga pala dyan, sa bago, of course, sa ating Pokemon Unite Philippines community, make sure to follow the Facebook page, yung Twitch natin, of course, and any other platforms na naka-live tayo ngayon. Kasi sa pagkakalam ko, naka-live tayo sa Facebook, sa Twitch, sa TikTok ba? Naka-live din tayo. I think naka-live din yata tayo sa TikTok, no? Hindi pa pala, no? Medyo advance lang ako mag-isip, no? So, YouTube ba? Direct naka-live tayo? Ibigay mo nga informasyon? Okay. Twitch FB lang daw, Twitch FB. Masyado tayo excited pero make sure na abangan nyo tayo sa mga susunod nating platforms because PUPH is just expanding the network talaga, no? Para mas dumami pa ang mga manlalaro natin dito sa Pilipinas ng Pokemon Unite. Pero ito na nga, Isen Omento versus the Rejects, pare. The old versus new Omento. Sino nga ba ang mananaig? Papatunayan ba ng the Rejects na sila ba ay hindi pa wash out sa larong ito?
Kasi kind of a statement match for the side of the Rejects habang Isen Omento naman. It's the same kasi they're trying to rebuild their once lost glory na they were once a World's Caliber team pero ngayon they're being forced to, have inconsistent results sa mga nagdaan na tournaments natin. And also, the roster changes na nangyari because of the unstable results and just like that, that's going to be a huge takedown coming in from Ryu. Pinabagsak niya dito isang member ng Rejects first KO of the match. They would be very happy with that.
Yeah, very happy they take all those KOs na kaya talaga nilang kunin, no, against each other. But right now, leading the charge in the scoring department, it's Isen Omento. They want to make sure they get those stacks up and going, the scoring items, and of course, yung mga bracers natin in order to get those assists and KOs for additional firepower sa kanilang team. Right now, Armor Cannon, ako po, medyo malayo yata yung pagkakatira dito in order to stun out the Psyduck na nandito sa may bottom path. So, medyo chilling yung laban natin pero at the same time, the Rejects, kinukuha na nga dito yung mga resources kagad ng Isen Omento.
Yeah, exactly. Pero mukhang sila pa yung mapupunta sa tough situation dito kasi level 7 with that Blaziken. Habang level 6 lang naman yung Leafeon. Which means kailangan talaga nila mag-back away from that one kasi magiging problema na yon kung susubukan pa nila. And now, actually, it's going to be Dremp playing the central area ata if I'm not mistaken kasi siya yung may buff dito and with that, it's going to be a quick KO for the side of the Rejects. Maganda yung naging play nila, they converted well and just like that, makakuha ata sila ng goal dun sa itaas pero they decided not to break it just yet.
Not yet break it kasi pwede pa nilang i-overcap yun maya-maya lamang. They just need more points. Kailangan naka 40 or 50 point cap ka na sa iyong arsenal para naman mas maganda yung pressure na maibibigay mo sa inyong kalaban. But right now, look at the Psyduck being able to sustain his life. Iniiwasan niya pa yung mga armor cannon pero yung heavy slam ang katapat para ma-KO siya.
Hindi naging sapat ang pagiging madulas dito ng ating Psyduck. But the rest of the members of Team Rejects, they're getting the XPs that they needed. At ay makakuha pa sila ng huge pick-up dun sa itaas, which means it opens up the path for the 12,500 USD prize. Will first place gets a joke lang.
Ginulat ang mundo, pare.
Bumalik sa pag-introduce at pag-endorse.
Yan. Okay, nakuha na nga dito ng The Rejects, no, yung Regieleki natin, no. By the way, guys, no, kaya namin sinasabi kanina, no, konting narrative story muna tayo habang nakayo dito si Drep sa may kabilang banda. Tatlo sa original Omento nga pala natitira, habang former Omento naman tatlo ang nasa The Rejects. So, yun, medyo well-balanced Omento po. So, they are trying to set up the balance talaga, no? Pero in terms of firepower, no, dikit na nga sila. Pero look at that! May reinforcement na nga kaagad dito. Masyado mabilis ang Gabite. Pero sad to say, medyo marami din ang reinforcement nila. Kaya naman, KO nila kaagad dito yung chicken sa may bandang itaas.
Kalmado. Ang galaw dito ng Isen Omento pero ayun na nga, napakabilis din naman ang takedown ni Miva to find the trade, to take down Guren. Kailangan nila mapabagsak si Guren kasi may Emerald 2-step Kaya niyang gumawa ng mabilis sa plays. Pero speaking of mabilis sa plays, mukhang si JT ngayon, tatry gumawa ng mabilis sa play. Pero may ipit siya dito, 3 KO streak kay Miva off-screen. That is going to be very huge. Makakascore din naman dito sa taas ang Isen Omento.
Oo, no. Talagang may point conversion sila lagi. They have to make sure na sulit talaga kagaya ng Emerald 2-step pero na-deny na nga kagad yun ng block ng Snorlax.
The denies coming in from Isen Omento, it's kind of a scrappy fight. Hindi pa natin alam sino man nanalo. Helping hand ay naka-bliss assist. Being committed as well for the side of the Rejects at mukhang sila ang pupunta at makaka-come out on top. And this one, 2 KO streak from that Leafeon. And the Rejects, they find a favorable fight. Yun lang yung kailangan nilang gawin. Na ma-utilize nila yung prowess sa composition nila, which is, They want those quick pick-offs, they want those scrappy fights kasi you have two speedsters. Actually, si Garchomp parang speedster din yan, not to mention.
Oo.
Na is not that bulky pero he deals and dishes out so much damage.
Actually, medyo bulky pa nga siya kung pag-uusapan natin compared to the, alam mo yun, same results in the damage department pagdating sa speedsters, pero mas sustained siya in terms of everything kasi an all-rounder pa rin yung classifications niya. So,
Yeah.
this could actually go for an all-rounder, same thing with the central laner. So, it depends how you can utilize this Garchomp really into its maximum potential. Pero ngayon, Regieleki nagmamakto sa may bandang itaas, applying more pressure up against the hands of Isen Omento. So, armor cannon lang dito para ma-push back yung Regieleki natin. And of course, not forget, objective as well at bottom path. Medyo bumagal yung facing to ng the rejects.
Yes, exactly. Pero mukhang gagawa naman sila ng play dito. Mukhang fly ang makukuha dito ni Luke Lewis shot and that metronome. Ito na nga ang triangle. Nilatag na ang Bermuda Triangle dito ngayon ng the rejects kasi hindi pa rin sila tapos sa pagbagsak at pagbalat dito sa ibaba. Bless assist to support JT pero yung backlane nila mukhang napapasok na dito ngayon ng Isen Omento. Isen Omento trying to find the backlane. Will find the Leafeon. Guren now down. Blaze Kick, tatamaan dito si JT. JT trying his best to fight up against 4 members. So-sustain naman niya. Unite move coming in from that side. That would be huge. Tatamaan sila dito ngayon ng Unite move as well coming in from 5th Leaf. And they are going to clean the house clean. And, Isen Omento, they find a good fight. And that is what they need dito sa ating labanan. That Psyduck as well going to fall down. And this goal zone as well sa ating ibaba ay babagsak na rin. Si Dremt ang magiging susunod. Mukhang susunod na nga ba talaga siya? Babagsak si Dremt. That is going to be another member down for the rejects. And a chain reaction, a catastrophic event for the side of the rejects where Isen Omento got everything they wanted nang walang kapalit.
Ang kapalit talaga and sobrang sulit ng kanilang engage dito. Isen Omento being able to maximize their firepower and take down every single goal zone all the way at the bottom path. Ngayon, taas naman ng kanilang pinopunteriya pero eto na ang defense ng the rejects.
The defense from the rejects, will it be enough? Si Miva ngayon is a huge threat dito sa lineup ng the rejects kasi kanina pa siya nakakakuha ng pick-off sa backlane, kanina pa niya nakahanap dito yung mga core members ng the rejects pero they are trying to defend this one pero grabe nga naman yung mga tumamang sapak doon and just like that si JT mukhang gagawa pa siya ng miracle pero hindi magiging sapat. They're trying to find his armor edge onto the backlane pero 5th Leaf like a 4-leaf clover, super lucky, finds the Psyduck and cancels out any possible returns ng rejects. Onting pagbawi hindi binigay and this is Omento. They're doing it. The bad effect is in effect in this game.
In effect nga talaga. Pero 13 seconds, meron na tayong Rayquaza. Ang pwesto, hindi masyado maganda para sa the rejects. At of course, meron silang Snorlax from Omento. Kayang i-zone out lahat. Heavy slam to apply some pressure, iniipit ng block. Pero eto na ang Rayquaza, nasa gitna na.
Nasa gitna na pero oh no, Ryu mukhang mas-scoop out siya doon, being forced to use the power nap. Back away dito ang sabi ng the reject. Si Dremt gagawa ng gawa doon sa likod and the water gun will find one hydro pump. Luke Lewis shot talaga sa pool pero ngayon mukhang tatlo ang babagsak sa Isen Omento. The rejects now trying to do something, trying to find anything pero si Miva, the final boss na kanina pa nagiging problema ngayon. Siya ba ang magiging problema uli? Pero i-heal lang naman siya dito ni Luke Lewis at hindi pa rin naman tapos ang ating labanan. The play rough magmi-miss, tatamaan doon yung Rayquaza and the members of Isen Omento, hindi pa rin sila nakakabalik. And Luke Lewis shot trying his best pero rejects makakakuha ng Rayquaza. Yung nangyari kanina, hindi na mangyayari muli. And the defense for the side of Isen Omento, will it be enough? Ang mga miyembro ngayon ng the rejects, mababasagan.
Okay, nice defense.
Okay, makakahanap sila ng isa. Mo-block dito ni Ryu. Yung ating
Garchomp.
Oh, yung Garchomp, nag-iintay lang sigurin din naman. Waiting patiently lang doon sa ating bush si JT din. Meron pa siyang shield. Makakascore din naman dito ngayon yung ating Garchomp. That is going to be a job successful for the side of the rejects. At ngayon, ang iniintay na lang ng Isen Omento, magkakaroon ba sila ng errors? Magkakaroon ba sila ng problema? Mukhang si JT ang magiging kapalit at hindi na to magiging etchapuera sa Isen Omento. They're trying to, trying to push down the remaining members kasi dalawa ang bagsak sa the rejects ngayon.
Mahirap pabulin, pero kayang-kaya pa. Pero eto ang depensa ng the rejects, nakahanda nga lang dito. At si Dremt, tatambak pa ng 96 points dun sa may base ng Isen Omento para sabihin game over na ang matchup na to. Yung fly ay makukuha dun sa metronome, pero hindi pa rin sapat talaga
para makuha ng Isen Momento ang laban na ito at Rejects. What a steal game up against Momento, proving that they are still one of the very best.
Balikan kaliwat kanan for the Rejects and is an Momento, pero the Rejects gets the final dagger in. Sila ang nakakuha ng huling halakhak. Kung baga last game hindi na nila pinaulit muli. And now they would secure game number 1 up against Isen Momento. It wasn't pretty for both of the teams, pero at least it worked. And that is going to be it. 372 to 655 would be the score.
What a turn of events. Hindi natin in-expect yung turnaround ng the Rejects doon. It was just them looking for a spacing. And then somehow they got it out of nowhere. Nakuha na lang nila biglaan yon up against Isen Momento. It was a total steal for them. Pero might tell you, I have to commend Miva as well, trying or attempting to steal the Rayquaza up against them. Yung Shadow Sneak tumama, pumunta siya sa may Rayquaza pit, pero syempre, that alone is not enough. Despite Luke Lewis, he was there, providing Moonlights as well. Pero talagang hindi lang sapat para makuha yung last hit dun sa Rayquaza.
Dapat pala si Luke Lewis shot yung bida dito. Kasi ito mo, Fairy Zone, no? Si Klepa,
Ayan,
nandun
no?
sa likod,
Klepa.
kakaway-kaway lang.
Gumaganon sa pare, oh.
Low lang. O baga, nagpaka ano ba yan? Babay sign ba yan? Bababay
PCO.
ba siya?
PCO daw, PCO. Yan. Number 3. Ito, ay, dito pala. Ito, si Phalanx naman, no? Hindi lang kita yung kamay ko, pero ayan, si Phalanx. Ayan. Dito naman, si Dodrio.
Si Phalanx, di na tayo
ay, ano ba yan? Pare, last time na nakakita ko ng Phalanx, WCS, Talon, oo. Nakuha nila siguro yung concept kay Obuyan, no? Sa ACL. Nakita natin si Obuyan from
Insomnia?
the Japanese team, Insomnia, yan. Defender, Phalanx, pero hindi masyadong lumalabas ulit sa mga tournaments natin ngayon kasi it's one of the out-of-the-box picks pa din talaga, no? And I think isa pa sa mga hindi ko nakikita is Tyranitar, knowing that
Tyranitar, yes.
Tyranitar is so much, especially if you have a meta of this. With that ability Sandstream, no? So, totoong HP na tatanggal niya, wala siyang pakialam sa shield. And same thing with the Urshifu. Hindi tayo masyado nakakita kasi it's just the speedsters already have a potential to shred down those shields na nanggagaling sa mga defenders. So, sa mga defenders and mga defense as well. So, Urshifu is being set aside as of the moment, pero for sure, we'll see that in the future as well. But for now, let's focus on game number 2, the Rejects leading the charge. Supporters kagad ang kanilang binandito, which is that. Habang sa side naman ng Isen Momento, ayaw nila ng defender, supporter, all-rounder, very well-rounded tawag dito, Suicune.
Ang daming supports na na-ban out. Actually, the Suicune is, being played as support as well. So,
Yeah,
consider it as like 4 supports now gone and out of the picture. At ayan na nga,
pare,
Dreamt.
kakaiba na to.
Pare.
Pre, kakaiba na to pag nag-intelligence si Dream, pre. Alam mong gusto ng tapusin ng The Rejects to. Okay,
And
double
si Ryu din
defender.
naman, double defender. I mean, may wish na manggagaling possibly kay Ryu.
Support.
So, it still works out for the side of Isen Momento. But the Rejects, JT once again on that guard jump. Ayan yung nahirapan talaga yung Isen Momento kanina eh. Na nagkakaroon pa rin ng sustain kaya kahit wala na itong HP pero ba't nakakabawi?
Pero I do understand as well from Crocono, like, you have to go for the Hoopa na rin, no? Knowing na medyo nauubusan na tayo ng supporters. Meron pang Eldigos actually, pero with the current meta right now, I do feel like Eldigos is not the efficient supporter to go with. Knowing that it lacks mobility and definitely there's always a Blaziken once you get hit by that Focus Blast. Kayang-kaya ka nang habulin ng kahit sinong member ng Pokemon sa inyong kalaban. So, I do understand that Hoopa is the way because if you do get hit by a Focus Blast, you can just set up a hyperspace hole and go back to your base. So, beautiful pick off dito para sa the Rejects as well. So, they just need a solid defender and it is going to be a Mr. Mime defender. So, I like the idea as well. Guren with the Talon Flame. Medyo squishy dito yung the Rejects pero they have total amount of refreshers na makukuha nila from Crocono maya-maya.
I mean, the composition ngayon for the side of the Rejects that
They have insane and absurd damage, pero the only member that can soak in and take damage from them is going to be the Mr. Mime. It's the Mr. Mime, then the rest of them is very squishy. So once again, Miva would be very happy with his composition, makakahanap siya ng mga free picks, pero ang tanong, tatagos ba sila dito sa the rejects this time around? Kasi baka bago pa makapasok si Miva, tamaan na siya ng snipe shot ni Dremp, and yada yada yada. So, there's a lot of counterplay for both of the teams. So, execution is the thing that is left for them to do. Yun na lang talaga yung kailangan nilang gawin this time around.
So, and it's all about gamble as well, aside from the sana ba nakikita nating pick-offs dito no, ng both teams. Kasi, yun nga, kagaya na sinabi natin, squishy pa din talaga dito ang side ng the rejects, but they have a lot of refreshes. Gaya na sinabi ko, Mr. Mime with Showtime can offer crowd controls as well maya-maya lamang pag dumikit si Miva. So, they just need to give a lot of space kay Dremp to maximize that attacker. Knowing na si Fifth Leaf kasi sure hit naman yan once he get that side strike. Eh, no? So, wala namang Pokémon na masyadong habol dito kay Dremp aside from Miva, who's actually a mimic that could have the Shadow Sneak. So, when it comes to protection potential, kaya nilang i-cover si Dremp dito as long as he gets the right spacing. Kasi if masyadong padalos-dalos yung pwesto ni Dremp dito, which I know that he won't be doing that, madali kagad siya mahuhuli dito ng Isenomento. But here we go! Game number 2, the Rejects looking for that third spot dito sa tournament natin sa Fairy Zone.
I mean, talagang third slot is no joke. You have to secure it. If you're both of these teams, you want to secure it as fast as possible. Kung rejects ka, no more game number 3 if you're Isenomento. Let's get to live another day. Eto na nga ba, si Mr. Game number 3, Pika Yules, o
Okay.
mababasag na?
Sana may mabutan pa akong biyahe mamaya pa Paranaque, pre.
Okay, so ano dyan? Baka gusto nyo daw po pick upin si Yules. Nasa Eti ba? Puntang Paranaque lang. Sige na ho, maawa kayo.
Kahit lakarin ko na yung Paranaque hanggang Pasay, okay lang. Pero sana may masakyan ako simula Cavite hanggang Paranaque. No? Kasi, bakit quarter to 9 na. Pero, battle for third pala to. May grand finalist pa tayo.
Oo, marami pa tayong pagdadaanan. Isa pang game 3 nating paglalabanan dyan, you know. And, you know, ganun talaga ang buhay.
Ang nakakasira talaga.
Entertainment kasi masaya naman tayo.
Masaya tayo. Nakakasira kasi ng pag-aaral yung pagpo-Pokémon pare. Pero joking aside pa, baka seryosohin ng iba nanonood dyan, mas seryoso yung mga naglalaro dito. The Reject gets a KO dun sa may bandang itaas. Point conversion pa para sa kanila. Nakikita natin yung head start, maganda dito for the Rejects. Pero ganun din naman sa Aumento, may konting bawi sila sa may bandang ibaba. Cross-map trade ang sagutan dito.
And you know, the huge thing there was, it was Dremp na nakuha ng red buff pa doon. And ngayon naman, it's going to be Fifth Leaf trying his best up against Guren. And eto, fun fact, again guys, kumbaga every tournament may fun fact ako eh. So kung si Dremp, ang signature hero niya would be the Inteleon, or sabihin natin yung Venusaur. Si Guren naman, it's this Talon Flame. All the way from Nitrade hanggang sa Rejects, ginagamit niya pa rin. Mahal na mahal niya tong si Talon Flame talaga eh. Kumbaga, pang close out the series nga yung pinipick dito ng the Rejects. Pero, Isenomento naman, di natin sila pwedeng kalimutan. Ito yung pinapractice nilang composition, Look Louis Shot in this Snorlax, this double defender composition na gusto nila i-run. We'll have to see actually if it will pan out their way kasi baka mamaya malambot nga yung the Rejects kasi naman sila sa damage. Uy, grabe.
Ang ganda nun. Pero nice fly by the way to drop down up against the Mewtwo. So applying pressure once again in the Rejects dito, Kauri.
Yeah. You know, napakaganda ng ginawa ng Rejects dito ngayon. And Isenomento, nahihirapan sila makuha at masulot dito yung mga members ng Rejects kasi may Hyperspace Portal, mabilis si Dremp, mabilis dito yung Talon Flame, pero that was a good heavy slam coming in from Look Louis Shot, but it just wasn't enough. So wala na rin din ditong passive yung ating Umbreon. Kaya the next thing that teams are looking forward to would be this Regieleki. Remember, merong Unite move dito siguro. Now, the Snorlax is down for the side of Isinnomento. Flame Sweep now would be invested, pero it's going to be 5th leaf finding the Regirock. Onto the backlane naman ngayon, si Drem sinusubukan niyang pitasin dito ang mga remaining members, and Drem with that snipe shot sa pool.
Nice snarl! Grabe yung snarl nun, pare. Para
Grabe yung snarl.
mapigilan lang yung push dito ng the rejects. Pero hindi pa tapos, ha?
Actually, it was enough to buy them time to defend this gold zone. Kaya ngayon, abante ang Isinnomento. May makikita nila low on HP sigurin, pero hindi na sila maghahabol masyado. They still got the Reggie down bottom, pero may trade sa taas. That's going to be the Regieleki. The rejects, sitting comfortably dito sa ating labanan.
Nung komportable. Pero wag dapat makampante, mga kaibigan. Regieleki marching all the way to top path. Pero meron din pressure naman dito sa may bandang ibaba dahil alam nila na yung Regieleki ay mag-a-apply na rin ng pressure dito. Multiple goals landing here at the side of the rejects. Pero ito na ang depensa ng Omento.
So, ang depensa ng Omento ngayon. They're trying their best to actually defend this one. Pero the damage from the
What a
reject.
damage!
Wow, the fly sabay pa ng kalmot ni JT, and now the defense, Diva onto the back lane, play with me, would find one, babagsak pa si Drem, finally the attacker now down, the sniper down, Isinnomento pushing forward, finding two, will it be enough? Lilipad dito siguro, and oh wow! Takes down Miva, sinama pa dito si 5th Leaf, the damage dealers for the side of the Isinnomento now down, pero oh! Base kick, hindi ko na alam ano sasabihin dito. Azur's Vision, ang ginamit ni Drem to just clean house at Isinnomento. It looked good for them. Not until nag-unite na dito ngayon yung ating Hupa that takes down the members of Isinnomento dahil nakabalik na nga dito si Drem. The Heavy Slam would not land. Power Nap onto the backline.
Ito daw! Ano yun, pare? Pero tuloy-tuloy lang dito ang laban.
Hindi, nag-slow mo kasi sa POV ko yung nag-slow mo kayo.
Okay. Hindi sa akin kasi So, probably internet connection issues. Pero speaking of issues, eto na yung side strike lalapag. Pero hindi pa rin enough para makuha yung KO up against rejects.
It still wasn't enough, pero ngayon tutuloy-tuloy pa rin naman yung kanilang pag-abandon dito. Low on HP ngayon si MXI, a huge heavy slam pero hindi mo na mako-convert at the moment. Abangan, mukhang mas matagal dito yung fly na meron yung ating Talonflame, and that would be the Registeel secured by the rejects, and they are going to be very happy with that, and 3 KO streaks from Dremt and that Inteleon. That's why you have to ban out the Inteleon, lalo na kung si Dremt lang din ang makakagamit. It's not going to be very easy on your side. Kung siya makakalaban nyo.
Talaga madali. Pero ngayon, hindi pa rin pinapadali ng the rejects ang buhay ng Omento. They want to make sure that they can punish really hard. Eto na, babagsak na naman nila sa kamay ang Regieleki, and more pressure are coming on its way para sa side ng Omento.
Power Nap invested sa backlane to just try and stall out the members of the rejects, but look, Louis Shop
Guren?
gets taken down dito. Guren waiting for the perfect opportunity. Nakaligtas pa nga dito yung Snorlax sila, so that would add additional power to this defense ngayon ng Isinnomento, kung saan hayaan na ng the rejects. Kalma lang, hayaan na yung Regieleki dyan, pero wow!
Sak!
Sa pool!
Sa pool talaga sa snipe shot ni Drem. Magdasal ka na, kaibigan. Pero ang manahawak na ng kalamangan ngayon ay walang iba kundi ang the rejects pa din. Isinnomento still looking for a room for them to bounce back. They're just waiting for the flip potential. 48 seconds pang natitira para sa ating phase 1 ng matchup na ito.
And the rejects, they're just in control dito sa ating laban.
Total control talaga dito, Kauri. Hindi nila binibigyan ng spasyo ang Isinnomento para makabawi. Nomento, what could they do? They are just being revealed by the snipe shots of Drem. Grabe yung kanyang prediction, grabe yung anticipation in order to check the tall grasses kung nasan nga pa talaga yung mga members dito ng Omento, and they wanna make sure na walang makukuhang pwesto na advantage dito ang Omento. Knowing that 10 seconds, eto na Rayquaza, isang magandang heavies lamang inaantay ng Omento, pero ang the rejects, panay snipe shot lang in order to reset the rotation of Omento.
And ngayon, it's just a waiting game for both of these teams. I mean, Isinnomento already has the levels that they need. And look, Luishat on the backlane finds a favorable power nap pero hindi muna mako-convert. Eject button as well being used, and 100 points though from Niva. The diversion play, pero wala ng power nap tong Snorlax natin. So one mistake would be crucial for the side of Isen Omento. Ngayon, sayaw muna sa ating Rayquaza pit for both of the teams. JT going in. Sasalubin niya dito yung sipa. Unite move being used to just try and survive. Makakatakas pa rin naman si JT. Tatamaan niya dito si Ryu onto the backline pero may iwan siya. Sa ating likod din naman, mahuhuli doon si Guren ng ating mga miyembro pero may fly din naman to fly away to just try and escape from that one. Snipe shot, may tatamaan pero hindi magiging sapat. Isen Omento tuloy pa rin naman ang kanilang pagtapat dito sa The Rejects. Now, MXI is down. 5 members strong for the side of Isen Omento. If the time is to do something, that time is now for the side of the Rejects. Kasi maubos yung oras pero ma-hardness flip sa likod. Maiipit pa rin naman si Niva dito sa likod. And ito na nga, tuloy pa rin naman yung pag-flip nila dito sa ating Rayquaza. And that is going to be the Rejects securing that Rayquaza. And oh no! That is going to be very, very bad for the side of the Rejects. Hoopa finds 100 points. 271 to 260. Kailangan nila makascore ng onte. And tournament live on the line. They need small points.
Okay.
Okay. 27 points ang kailangan nilang punan dito ngayon. Makakascore ba dito ngayon si Luke Luisha sa ating itaas? Pero hindi pa nga ata. 35 points ang kailangan habulin ngayon ng Isen Omento. 10 seconds left. They are stuck defending. Hindi pwedeng magdepensa lang kayo dahil hindi magiging sapat ito as the Rejects pulls off the 2-0 win against Isen Omento. Wow!
What a match. It looked like the Rejects nasa bingit na sila ng isang bangin, no pare. Yun yung narrative kanina kasi despite them controlling the rhythm dun sa Rayquaza's pit, might I tell you, naka-score ang side ng Omento in order to give tons of pressure up against the Rejects. But still, last hit, it would go at the hands of the Rejects. Drem being able to give tons of pressure but by using the Azure Spy Vision para magbigay ng information sa kanilang team kung nasan nga ba talaga ang karamihan ng members dito ng Omento. And man, it's just Crocono being able to get away with the trick. Grabe yung movement speed na nai-offer rin ng kanyang moveset na ginamit dito into this game in order to shoot down those 100 points at bottom path.
Yeah, and that was just, super clean for the side of the Rejects. I mean, it didn't look pretty on paper.
Yeah.
But Guren surviving doon sa backlane. It was just the biggest thing for the side of the Rejects kasi kung nawala si Guren doon, I mean, natamaan siya ng play with me, tinamaan din siya ng blaze kick, pero it was still enough for him to live through that fight. It was just enough for them to stall out the remainder of the fight, and wala nga ding power nap dito is Snorlax, so kulang din naman yung sustain na meron dito yung ating team Isen Omento, and with that, the Rejects taking down Isen Omento, securing the third slot, and syempre points yun, napakalaking points sa kanila, and securing the prize pool as well. Mamaya ang aabangan natin is the grand finals between Isen Rego versus Isen Exosia. And we will be right back, mga kababayan, in just a short bit. Grand finals na ating susunod, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, guys. It's going to be the
Parang-
Fairy Zone. Ano na, grand finals. It's the final matchup. It's Isen Exosia versus Isen Rego. Isen Rego. Papi Chulo, ang tagal na natin pinag-uusapan from WCS to Scalding's team. They've been there. All it takes is one final push, pero can they overcome that final hurdle ngayon na Isen Exosia ang tumatapat sa kanila? Isen Exosia naman, it's once again bringing back their old glory, creating a new legacy with this lineup. Jeff being back into the lineup, getting the recognition that he deserved once again. It's going to be Isen Exosia versus Isen Rego. So for sure, Isen ang champion dito sa ating Fairy Zone, mga kababayan. Kaya ano pa bang ina-expect natin? I'm just excited to see what will unfold dito sa ating grand finals. Will this be a 3-game series or will Isen Exosia or Isen Rego make a sweep dito sa ating labanan? And now we are starting na, so we're going to be in the draft phase in just a bit.
Ito na nga tayo, no? Wala nang in just a bit. Diretso na kagad tayo dito. So, Isen Exosia, by the way guys, kung napansin nyo, medyo matagal silang, or rather yung Exosia is matagal yung hindi naririnig kasi last year, gonna be real honest and show everyone the narrative. Pag community tournament yung narinig mo, it's all about Kodo ng Fibonacci, it's all about Isen Rego. Paulit-ulit sila yung nagka-champion, pero Isen Exosia right now, they've been getting a lot of podiums before, pero can they win this final stretch up against Isen Rego, who's actually very well known to be the kings of the community tournament as well here in Pokemon Unite Philippines official tournament. So, we'll get to see if Isen Rego, makakatawid na nga ba sila dun sa barricade na hindi nila matawid ngayon, or Isen Exosia once again will prove that they are still here, one of the top competitors para sa ating liga.
And kung mapapansin mo, it's going to be Tempest now subbed out for Isen Exosia and Troya or Ayorps now playing in. So, a huge switch up for the side of Isen Exosia. We'll see kung ganong mababawasan dito or maiiba yung game style ng Isen Exosia na kanina nakita natin na they were so strong, they were so dominant, super consistent. Pero ngayon, the 6th man now in for the side of Isen Exosia. Ito na nga ba yung magiging sagot to finally secure a first championship for Isen Exosia and be the new face of the Isen organization, or will it be, the rising stars of Isen Rego na they've been making waves. They're second only to Talon PH dito sa ating mga recent tournaments time and time again. Kaya ngayon malalaman na lang natin kung ano ang magiging resulta. Going back to the draft, balik tayo sa draft, Kiawe and Ray doon sa Suicune and Snorlax combo, I think medyo nag-give up dito yung Isen Exosia ng options for Isen Rego, especially binigyan nila ng heroes dito si Kiawe and si Ray na naka-Suicune pa. So medyo mahirap mabasa yung draft ngayon on how it will pan out kasi di ako makaisip ng possible picks for Isen Exosia. I think they need an equalizer kasi si Sign is going to have a very tough time against the Suicune, against the Snorlax, against that 4 members sa Isen Rego.
Oo, yun nga. And here's the thing, Exosia actually banned out as well yung Blissey na pwedeng maging sagot para mas makalamang sila sa current draft dito ng Isen Rego. So that would be a big problem for them. But at the same time, I don't know what would be their game plan, knowing that they have their draft completed as well. So they have damage dealers, they have solid defenders, and they are trying to go with a special attack na Blastoise para sa gabing ito. And might I tell you, yung Hydro Pump, nag-increase yung kanyang mini stun by a couple of milliseconds given the fact pag naka-rapid spin ka. So, we'll see if this will be a rapid spin kasi posible dahil meron silang crowd controls with the Slowbro and of course the Psyduck. Pero if they want more control over it, it's still Surf that is the go-to decision talaga dito for the side of Exosia.
And parang kulang din sa damage ng only the Exosia. I mean, yes, the Mewtwo provides decent damage, pero it's not like your parang Delphox na may fanciful fireworks na merong fire spins tapos yung paglatag niya ng mga apoy. So yun yung medyo mahirap ngayon for Isan Exosia is finding that reliable damage. Pero meron din naman siguro tayong water spout, sabayan natin ng breakdancing dito ng ating Blastoise. But Isan Rego, we've seen this lineup, this kind of lineup, you know, it plays out well for them. Not to mention Jemiru is back on that Pikachu once again.
I do agree on the pointer that you talked about a while ago na medyo kulang sa damage dito yung Exosia. But here's the thing, if they can control the rhythm of the matchup, o yung reading ng mga team fights dito, then for sure they have a big shot as well. Pero sobrang ganda rin kasi ng control dito ng draft ng Isan Rego. Again, they have Kiawe with the Snorlax, si Ray naka-Suicune dito that could actually provide tons of ground control as well. And may Pikachu pa. So, sobrang dami dito ng options ng Rego in order to suppress the capabilities of Isan Exosia.
Yeah, exactly. And now, Isan Exosia, they just have to play the pace. Kailangan nilang bilisan talaga yung paglaro dito. I mean, finally, Sign is going to have a purpose here, and that is to take down the Pikachu dito ni Jemiru sa side naman ng Isan Rego. So, for Exosia, I think it's the point of where you have to take the early game na parang it's kind of a no-brainer na kailangan mo panalo mo talaga yung early game kasi for the side of Isan Rego, they have the options to actually win in the later stages of the match kahit hindi pa sila manalo dito sa ating early, agad-agad kasi alam natin yung composition nila, it scales really well into those later stages of the match, pero for the side of Isan Exosia, doon sila magkakaroon ng problems.
It's true. So right now, they could, for the side of Exosia, they could actually lead the charge as soon as possible. Pero Isan Rego, medyo mabilis din yung scaling kasi nila kahit it's on the middle ground, not on the late game itself. But they could punish them early to mid and as well as be strong at the late game. So ganun kasi yung composition nila, very well balanced. That's why they could already punish the side of Exosia in top path.
And Sign almost got away with it, pero kung makakaharap rin naman sila ng favorable trade, but still Chaywan is still alive and kicking, makakuha siya ng additional XP, makakuha siya dito ng mga Swablues, mas spot out siya dito ngayon ni Proya. Proya just doing his best to deal that much damage, and piso na lang dito si Chaywan, pero hindi na siya mabubuhay as Ayorps claiming that KO for the side of Isan Exosia.
Nice KO by the way para sa kanilang team. But right now, hindi masyado maganda yung point conversion so far. So it's all about brawls, it's all about KOs. Kuha na ng XP talaga ang labanan dito. Pero dikit na dikit no? Kahit nagkakaroon ng KOs dito, wala pa rin naman nabe-behind so far in terms of XP department for both teams. So very careful decisions from Rego and Exosia. Since Grand Finals nga to, ayaw nila magkamali and they wanna close it out in 2-0.
Exactly, they want to close out into 2-0, you know, cement their legacy. Pero ngayon, Isan Exosia would find a favorable fight. Makikita nila dito si Chaywan, may ipit sa likod, stuck with casting that blaze kick. Pero siya ngayon ang mababagsak. Si Sign din naman ang magiging next casualty. Makikita siya ni Ray ngayon. Just, you know, isang pitik na lang. Pinitik lang si Sign and Sign is now down. Pero once again, fair trade for both of the teams.
Very fair indeed. Right now, too much pressure being applied as well here for Isan Rego once again all the way at top path. Di masyado malaki yung point conversion so far pero slowly but surely they're somewhat getting XPs by scoring as well. So too much pressure on both sides here.
At ngayon, no, Isan Exosia, medyo nag-fall behind na sila a bit, which is not an optimal thing to do kasi nga they need to utilize their advantage early game. I mean, yes, they have late game din pala. They have the Slowbro and that Blastoise possibly. Pero they need to get this Reggie Rock dito sa ating ibaba to gain that XP that is possibly lost. Pero si Kiawe would just secure that. Actually, it's Jemiru that would take the Reggie Rock away from Isan Exosia. At ngayon, mabubuhay pa nga si Kiawe. And that is just going to spell out a lot of trouble for the side of Isan Exosia and Isan Rego ngayon. They're positioning themselves dito sa ating ibaba. They're just waiting for an perfect opportunity, and Chaywan sasayaw sa likod, tatamaan yung dalawa sabay sipa sa dalawa to, you know, push them away. Play with me. Ginamit na dito ni Nyx onto that back lane. We'll find one. That is going to be Jep now down for the side of Isan Exosia. Isan Rego pushing the pace, pushing forward sa ating baba. United coming in from Jemiru. Kanina pa yan. Shockingly unbelievable ang kanyang damage sa ating labanan, and another huge win for the side of Isan Rego. You know, securing that goal zone, securing a lot of points being dumped, and 4-208 is the score.
Yan, that's a huge lead kung iisipin mo in the early stages of the game. Pero kayang-kaya pa naman yan habulin mamaya in the final stretch. But here's the thing, it's just 4 minutes that has elapsed dito nga pala sa ating matchup. And ang laki na kagad ng advantage dito ng Isin Rego just like that. They're taking KOs one by one. And yung efficiency dito ng isang Leafeon side of Exosia, medyo mababaliwala pag mas naging ahead pa ng levels dito ang Rego.
Yeah, exactly. And Isan Rego, sobrang bilis ng pace nila ngayon. Sobrang comfortable nila sa ating matchups. Pero we still have to see a team fight where Isan Exosia has their Unite moves. Pero Isan Rego din naman, they're going to have their Unite moves in just a bit. Kumbaga, 4 na yung meron sa kanila eh. They're just waiting for that Mimikyu. And so far, wala pang Unite move dito yung ating slow bro. Papasok ko dito sa Chaewon, tatamaan niya dito ang mga members sa Isan Exosia. And that is a huge Unite move coming in from Jemir onto the back lane. Will find and dish out so much damage na hindi na kayang i-contain ngayon ng Isan Exosia. And just like that, 4 members burado agad doon sa laban na yun without even the chance to use the Unite moves for that Psyduck, for that Blastoise, and for that Leafeon as well. Sabayan mo pa ng no Unite moves pa dito yung ating slow bro, but now may slow beam na, so they could actually find a play dito sa ating itaas.
And they're just looking for more plays indeed. Heavy slam na naman dito para kay Kiawe, pero hindi nga dito nagtatapos ang onslaught ng Isan Rego.
And Isan Rego, they are just doing everything in this one. Napakaganda ng kanilang pinapakita, pero may pagpawing rin nga naman dito ating Team Isan Exosia. Ray using that Unite move to try and, you know, flip things around, pero it won't be enough. Dito naman sa ating ibaba, it's going to be Ayurps trying to defend that bottom goal. So, point differential ngayon na bawasan naman dito ng Isan Exosia. They would be very happy with that one, but they need to take down this Reggie Eleki fast. Kasi andito na si Kiawe. You know, he could try and attempt a potential steal, pero hindi magiging sapat. It's going to be side securing that Reggie Eleki up top. And now, reinforcements for Isan Rego is now coming in.
Ngayon, indeed. At ngayon nga, another KO would land para sa Isan Exosia to catch up slowly but surely. Pero si Jemeru medyo naiipit yata.
Naiipit si Jemeru, pero siya pa nga ang makakakuha ng dalawa. Isan Rego, you know, they are pushing dito sa ating itaas. Hindi pa rin sila tumitigil sa kanilang tempo and momentum. Nakahanap ng good fight ang Isan Exosia, pero still wasn't enough to come back from a huge deficit. Lamang na lamang pa rin sa levels ang Rego dito, habang Isan Exosia naman, they are hoping and they are waiting for another fight to happen. Katulad ng nagawa nila kanina, to actually try and secure this one. Emerald 2-step, hindi magiging sapat to take down Kiawe. Kiawe just too bulky at this point.
Too bulky, at nakuha niya na nga kagad yung Citrus Berry to just reset the HP with that Gluttony, providing a lot of advantage nga pala sa pag-regenerate ng HP by getting the Citrus Berry on his hand. So ngayon, mas maganda ang nakuha ang pwesto dito ng Isan Rego to take this objective all the way at bottom path. Pero maganda rin naman yung response dito ng Exosia kasi nakapwesto na nga kagad sila sa mga tall grasses dito sa may bandang gitna ng mapa kung saan mag-i-spawn si Rayquaza. Kaso, maganda rin naman yun para sa Rego because they will get additional attack because of the Registeel.
Because of the Registeel indeed, and XPs, the buffs is now on the favor and on the side here
Ang sakit
for
no,
the
no?
side of Isan Rego. And ayun nga, isang check lang dito ni Jemeru, na chunk down na agad dito to below 50 HP ang ating Psyduck for the side of Isan Exosia, and Ayurps, you know, just trying to position himself, try to find someone, try to find anything, try to find an opening, pero si Kiawe, mati-check siya doon, and that is information gathered for the side of Isan Rego. And now Rayquaza has spawned in. What will Isan Exosia do?
Oh, look at that. Someone is defending the gold zone para dito sa side ng Isan Rego. Medyo make sure nila na wala makakapag-backup dito sa side ng Isan Exosia. Kasi hindi naman nila kailangan simulan yung Rayquaza. They just need to guard things down. Just have to play it very slowly. Walang sumasalubong sa Mimikyu. So this is actually a big opportunity for Nyx to do a surprise attack later on.
And ngayon kasi pressure is on the side of Isan Exosia, so they would have to play this one almost perfectly, or else sila yung mahihirapan na talaga. Kumbaga, it's going to be sealed once said and done. Ngayon, mukhang maiipit pa nga dito si Wheezy onto the back lane using the Unite move. And that is one Unite move now down for the side here. Pero ayun nga, maganda yung nakuha nila dito sa likod, pero hindi pa nila may pick off si Ray. Emerald 2-step hits, not going to be enough. Isan Rego just too strong, just too high levels for them, and Jemeru would be the consolation prize, and Jep the only one the only man left standing. In the face of adversity, can Ethan Exocia still clutch this one out? And the answer would be no. Just like that, Ethan Rego, surrender comes in, first point, and match point na next game dito ang Ethan Rego, Ethan Exocia. They just wasn't prepared dito sa playstyle na pinapakita ng Ethan Rego.
One more push ang kailangan ng Ethan Rego to get that crown for Fairy Zone and get an additional of 5 points para makapag-qualify sa ating main stage ng Journey Together series ng Pokemon Unite Philippines Community League. But of course, Ethan Exocia, they did a little bit of underperforming compared to the performance of Ethan Rego. It's very understandable. The pressure is too huge na ina-apply dito ng Rego. Gemiro with an attacking prowess. Si Kiawe lagi naka-check bush. Same thing with Nyx. So there's just no room for them. Everyone could actually check the tall grasses because of the moveset that they do have. Maparey, Gemiro, Chaewon, Kiawe, or Nyx. They could just check if where your location is at. So, Exocia, medyo hirap sila gumalaw talaga sa loob ng TSK Ruins.
Exactly. So, parang nawawalan kasi ng window of opportunity yung Ethan Exocia dito. Just because, the members of Ethan Rego are well informed with their abilities. And yung early game nga na nagkaroon dito yung Ethan Rego, it was just huge for them. To the point na parang nahirapan na yung Ethan Exocia makabawi. Yes, they find a favorable fight, but then again, it wasn't enough for them to actually seal things off. And this could possibly be the fact that it's not the main 5 that is currently playing for the side of Ethan Exocia, that additional firepower that they have. Syempre yung init nung players na they're just fresh from a huge victory up against Ethan Omento in the upper bracket semifinals. So, yeah, I think for Ethan Exocia, they need to regain their composure kasi once Rego gets hot, they're hard to stop. Even Talon has difficulty stopping them. Kaya ngayon, one win away yung Ethan Rego from securing their title and securing, Kiawe's first Community League Tournament Championship in a long time. Years in the making for many of the players that is currently waiting. Kasi nga, it has been the talent show all along. Ngayon na wala sila, they can come out and play. So, yeah, super huge game number 2 for the side of Ethan Rego. Habang ang Ethan Exocia naman, they want to extend the series to a game number 3.
Oh yeah, for sure. Game number 3 is what they want. They want to make sure that they get reverse sweep. Yeah, wag na natin patagalin pa. Let's head on over sa ating potential set point dito ng Ethan Rego. So they will retain their position doon nga pala sa ating orange side because they do have the choice to go to the purple side or go to the orange side still kasi sila yung nanalo and that is according to our official rule book dito sa ating community league. But might to tell you guys, again, isa na lang ang kailangan ng Ethan Rego habang Ethan Exocia naman kailangan nila ng malupitang upset dito up against Rego.
Exactly. And Ethan Rego, nakita natin yung last match nila up against the Rejects kanina. Yun yung pinakita nila sa game number 1 up against Ethan Exocia. Wala nang intro. Let's get it on agad ang pinakita nila. So, huge problems for Ethan Exocia now that Ethan Rego has the upper hand, but it's still very winnable. You have to trust in Ethan Exocia, especially in this kinds of situations. Kasi once put in pressure, Ethan Exocia, they perform well.
Let's see if they can actually perform well then dito sa ating do or die matchup na kanilang inaabangan dito up against Ethan Rego. So, Ray locks in probably the best supporter in the game, Blissey. So kung si Wheezy meron ditong Suicune that could provide tons of crowd controls, Ray is here to cancel everything out para sa kanilang side with that safeguard potentially. Kasi feeling ko yun naman talaga yung magiging option dito kasi crowd controls are very important to suppress and safeguard is probably one of the most important tool. Pero Yorps pare, with the Crossel. What do you think pare? Crossel kay Yorps? Kasi mostly si Kiawe lang ang nakikita ko mag-Crossel eh.
Actually, it's Yorps as well that pioneered the defender game. Sadyang di lang siya nakakuha ng spotlight pero ngayon old school versus kind of new school. Si Kiawe, matagal na rin yan sa... Matagal
Pre,
na rin yan
sino nagsabing new school si Kiawe, pre? Matagal na rin yan.
Kumbaga dito, senior na rin yan
Ilang buwan o taon lang nauna si Ajax, pare. Nalimutan ko na nga sa to the point na nag-ano siya, pare.
Sabay din sila.
So, sabay din sila, di ba?
Dahil si Kiawe, tinatalo ko lang yan dati. Ay, sorry. Sorry po.
Kiawe, may sinasabi to.
Video
May
ko lang.
sinasabi.
Never ako nanalo dyan kay Kiawe sa any tournament. Never ako nanalo dyan. J-Truth, Graded Cup, Finals, Body Barrier.
De pare, ito kasi yan, pare. Yan, o, di ba? Pero, ito kasi yan pre. Ayorbs kasi, di ba? Hindi na natin masyado nakita yung spotlight niya ng Krasel Medyo matagal na. So, ang tanong dito, is this an upgrade or a downgrade ba talaga? Yun yung malaking tanong natin kasi
kung naglalak ang daliri.
Yun nga kasi pre, compared to a Snorlax, mas mahirap i-pilot talaga ang isang Krasel, especially with the perfect angle ng Raccoon kasi you could extend that to its maximum potential and mas madali kumbaga gamitin ang isang Heavy Slam kasi nagbabase siya sa radius Pero yung Raccoon pre, just imagine, that's like just 1/3 of the area ng isang Heavy Slam. It's too hard to target and hindi natin alam kung ano nga ba nangyayari off the scene kasi si Ajax medyo nakatago ngayon So, dito natin makikita kung still efficient ba ang kanyang Krasel.
Exactly. I mean, we just have to wait and see. You know, kung ano pa nga ang maano nila dito, kung anong mabibring nila into the table. Can Eason Exocia still find the win, still find an opportunity for them to actually, you know, extend the series, or will it be, you know, Eason Rego just closing things out dito sa ating serye and claim what was rightfully theirs all along?
Hindi natin talaga malalaman sino nga ba ang magtatagumpay sa torneyong ito. Eason Rego to get that 5 points and get a total of 9. 5 plus 4, tama. 5 plus 4 equals 9.
Quick maths.
Quick maths, pare. Quick maths. So, potentially, regardless of the results, this will bring them into the top of the leaderboards to qualify for our top 8 sa Journey Together na tournament natin. So, it's a huge achievement already for Eason Rego, but of course, they want to finish strong in this tournament. Kaya naman, it's the set point for Rego at Game 2.
Set point, you know, dito na talaga lalabas kung sino nga ba ang malakas dito sa ating torneo na to. Will Eason Exocia find a final fight, a last stand, or will Eason Rego, you know, close things out in this game number 2? We just have to wait and see. Will this be the picture, you know, the perfect frame picture for Eason Rego, kung saan walang team talaga ang makakatalo sa kanila in this tournament and securing their slot as one of the greats. Jemiru, eject button in, one member down agad for the side of Eason Exocia, and what a way to open things up.
Open things up, pero masyadong malaki yata yung opening dito ng Eason Rego in the point conversion department and too much pressure as they take a KO, pero may response pa din naman dito ang Exocia for the defense.
Yeah, meron silang response dito, pero mind you, Ayorf is just only level 3. And what can a Gibble do? Ay, Namali na ako! Weapon pala! Oh no! Grabe kasi yung play dito ng Eason Rego
Oh no, indeed. Pero eto na, nag-i-scale na naman ng masyado mabilis dito si Jemiru, mind to tell you, Kauri. And Jemiru has been the major threat when it comes to the attacking prowess, knowing na kaya siyang i-cover up kagad dito ng kanyang mga teammates. So they have to watch out for that. And having a Scyther dito sa side ng Exocia is a great opportunity for them to pick up the KO up against Jemiru later on.
Exactly, no? And ngayon, it's just a lot of problems for Eason Exocia. Nakabull nila ito, makakaroon ng isa, pero grabe nga yung Thunderbolt doon! Sa likod! Yan, Jemiru! Mr. Electric! Electrifying! Ang bawat galaw at bawat presensya! He is just putting on a show! Eason Exocia, they find a favorable fight, pero it wasn't enough. Pero yun na nga, may pader na paglapag ngayon dito. Ang paghabol nila magiging enough ba? Pero Eason Rego makakahinga na. And 112-0 is the score.
I think hindi pa ito yung hihingay pare kasi 720 mark for sure they will fight it all out for those XPs. Palabas na nga siya in just a second. At ngayon naka-ready na yung buffs. Nice blaze kick in order for them to secure everything on their arsenal plus the overheat. Grabing secure ang ginawa ng Rego. It's just a minor wild Pokemon. Not a major objective pero binubuhos nila lahat ng kaya nila.
Exactly, because you know, it's the little things that matter. And kanina pa ako may gustong i-point out dito for the side of Isen Exocia and Isen Rego is that Isen Rego's rotation, you know, exactly counters out the rotation of Isen Exocia. Kasi alam natin, Isen Exocia, they like to send Sign down for the 3 versus 2 dun sa ibaba. Pero Isen Rego naman, ang ginagawa nila, 4 members invested onto the top path habang iniiwan si Kiawe to just defend things sa kanilang ibaba. Pero ngayon, si Sign, meron siyang galaw na gagawin dito. Helpless assist would be huge. Tatama at papasok dito ang Reggie Elegi. Pero ito na nga ang Isen Rego. Onto the backlane naman si Jemiru. He is just finding everyone at this point. Somebody stop this man! Kanina pa nga siya dito! And Isen Rego finds another fight. Pero Isen Exocia, makakakuha sila ng points at makakahanap din sila ng kills. So that is going to be kind of favorable for them because that buys them back somewhat into this matchup.
Oh wow, phenomenal gameplay nga pala dito from Rego. Everyone is making sure that Jemro can do as he pleases. And Kiawe being able to survive those team fights na sobrang tagal. Like, isipin mo wala pa siyang power nap, pero ginagamit niya yung block in order to get additional shields for himself para mas madepensahan niya pa yung kanyang mga teammates in order to peel them, their opponent, para mas maka-free hit pa yung iba nilang Pokemon.
Exactly. And ngayon, Isen Exocia, they're trying to find picks, but it's just not working out for them. Pero ayun na nga, mukhang makakanap nila sa likod. That is going to be the Blissey now down for the side of Isen Rego. Ito na nga pa pagbawi na hinahanap nila. Pero J1 overhit onto the back lane. Masyado siya nag-overhit nga naman talaga ata. Hinahabol siya ngayon pero hindi magiging sapat yung damage. Jemiru once again, putting on a show. Gagamit ang Unite move, papabagsakin ng isa. Kiawe finds the Buzzwole. Ito na nga, ang paggamit ng Queen's Ascendant pero hindi magiging sapat for the side of Isen Rego. Makakahanap silang dalawa pero that would be it. Isen Rego still holding the lead pero Isen Exocia unti-unti silang nakakahinga.
Hinga indeed, pero Isen Rego, sila ang hindi humihinga dito dahil lahat ng trabaho ginagawa nila, lahat ng objectives kinukuha nila, and they wanna make sure na pinapressure nila yung sarili nila in order to get the most out of it. Pero Rabble Rouser, pinoff na kagad dito kakaw yung Regirock.
And ayun na nga, nahanap na rin nila dito yung Pikachu ni Jemiru, and Jemiru is now down. Isen Exocia, a window of opportunity, a blessing in disguise. Kiawe trying to defend, pero hindi magiging sapat. Isen Exocia bumubuhay pa nga, talagang pumupuso pa at humihinga pa dito sa ating labanan. Si Kiawe mali na ata ng check doon sa pagtalon niya sa mga miyembro ng Isen Exocia, pero wala munang pagpalit at wala munang trade. Isen Exocia just, you know, calling to calm things down. Tamang farm muna tayo, lamang pa rin ng Isen Rego when it comes to the levels. So we have to actually prolong the fight. Make sure that we are still doing good and we're doing great. Makakahanap dito at makakasteal ng red buff yung Isen Rego. But that would be it, I think. Or magpupush pa rin sila dito sa ating itaas. Hindi pa natin alam. Ay naka, low on HP, Bliss Assist being used and committed. Mukhang mababangga dito, maraming member ng Isen Exocia. Babagsakin ito dalawa. And the Isen Rego, Jemiru, once again, hindi pa rin tapos! Hindi niya pagbibigyan ng Exocia! Ang natitira na lang dito ay si Ayorps. In the face of adversity, can you stop the 4-man push of Isen Rego? Pero ito na nga ang pagbalik dito ng mga miyembro ng Isen Exocia. Makukulong si Kiawe dito. Mag-eject out siya dito ngayon. And Isen Rego would just get out of that one safely. Pero onto the backlane, SD Pro! Makakahanap ng pagbuhat. Pero hindi magiging sapat. Sign as well, hahabol pero hindi makakabawi.
Di talaga makakabawi, but Jericho doing tons of damage once again doon sa kanilang backline, and of course doing multiple Thunderbolts and Thunder doon nga pala sa may goal zone dito ng Exocia in order to shred down those HPs and get huge advantage maya-maya lamang to score things down doon sa may bandang taas. Pero nasaan ang mga Unite move dito ng Rego? They wanna make sure that they recharge their Unite moves kasi kaunting segundo na lang, 45 seconds, pupunta na si Rayquaza doon sa may bandang gitna, and they need those Unite moves in order to win those team fights maya-maya.
Exactly, at ngayon hindi na pwedeng magpatumpik-tumpik pa ang Isen Rego dahil nakakakuha na dito ng momentum ang Isen Exosia. Though maganda yung pokes na nagagawa ng Isen Rego for this final Reggie down bottom at mukhang i-concede na to ng Exosia. Habol naman dito ngayon ng Isen Rego going in. Dito si Nick sa likod, level 14 on that Sharina, pero it still won't be enough. Low on HP ngayon si Kiawe. He needs to be very careful with this one. Reggie Steele ngayon ang binabakbakan ng Isen Rego. And I think they are going to claim this one. Isen Exosia just calling it quits. Mukhang mag-aano lang sila dito. Pupwesto na lang sila on that repeat. And here it goes, mga kaubayan.
Masyado delikado to.
Masyadong delikado to. Uy, X-Scissor, makakarap na isa. At Rubble Rouser na gagamitin sa likod. Gemiro onto the backlane, dealing damage. Pero yun na nga, mukhang isa-isa na nga natutulog dito ang Isen Exosia. At tapos na nga sila. And finally, ang inaantay-antay ng Regong tagumpay ay nasa kanilang kamay na ngayon. And Kiawe finally crowned as a champion. And Isen Rego marching forward, claiming what's theirs. Wala man ang talon, pero this could be a statement for them na antayin nyo kami. Na baka ito na nga ang pag-abante ng Isen Rego ngayon dito sa ating torneo. At ito na nga ang Isen Rego just scoring and dumping all the points, and Isen Exosia looks so defeated. No more movements in the base. It's the face of despair that faced Isen Exosia in this grand finals. All it took was a good unite move from Gemiru. High voltage Gemiru, mga kababayan, would secure this series. Hindi pa rin sila tapos. They would just clean up whatever's left. Trying dito ang Isen Exosia, but they know that it isn't enough. It won't ever be enough. Isen Rego. Oh wow, basking in their glory. The new champs is in. Woo! And I think they want to make it a 1,000 point game. Possibly.
Could be. Possibly.
Okay, nakasakto.
Saktong-sakto pare. Walang labis, walang kulang. Isen Rego. This could be their peak team in the history of Pokemon Unite. Isen Rego, they started last year. Kiawe was the main man. Maraming umalis, maraming bumalik, maraming pumunta. But one thing is for sure, this could be the peak Rego that we are seeing as of the moment.
Exactly. Many left, but Ray and Kiawe remained. And just like that, with the missing pieces, they emerge victorious champions sa Fairy Zone. The Fairy type Pokemon. Wait, Fairy type ba si Si Blissey? Kailangan ko lang na alam ko normal type lang si Blissey. Pero still, it's the finish that they wanted to have. 1,000 points to close out the tournament. Isen Rego will claim it. Will take it home for them. And you know, Isen Exosia, they had a nice run. We are going to be expecting more from them. Pero ngayon, ang inyong kampiyon, Isen Rego. 2-0 versus Isen Exosia. Everybody clap it up for your new champions. Isen Rego is here to play, mga kababayan.
Yeah, and let's not forget as well, Isen Exosia did a commendable run as well in this tournament, being able to take down Isen Elemento, probably the world's competitor as well in our region. Tatalo nila yun dito, but of course they fell short up against Isen Rego, who definitely we can conclude that they may be the prodigy in the coming seasons of Pokemon Unite dito sa ating region. Not just this region, but in the worlds. They could be the world's contender in this game.
Exactly, and you know, that was just it. You know, it was a very, very commanding win for the side of Isen Rego in those two games that they had.
Mhm.
So, I just don't know what to say anymore. I mean, Isen Rego, they proved us wrong time and time again. And with that, they are now the champs. So, ano pa bang masasabi natin? Isen Rego really is the upcoming team. The team that, you know, needs to get the recognition that they deserve. So, yeah, Isen Rego, I was just, you know, amazed and, you know, so proud sa achieve nila all throughout, you know, the hardships, the struggles. I mean, this is a community tournament, but still, this is one of the tournaments that you want to win to cement yourselves as the champions. And the Fair Zone Community League, a part of Journey Together, they are the champs, mga kababayan. At that would be it for Fair Zone. Eason Rego finally securing it. And abangan nyo, meron tayong tournaments. PK Yules, kung gusto mong ipakita at sabihin sa kanila ang ating roadmap, now is the time to tell the people what we have up ahead.
Yes, so syempre huwag nyo kalimutan ng Masters Engage APAC group stage ay mangyayari nga pala sa May 30. And of course, ang APAC finals naman ay mangyayari sa paparating na June 8. And right after that, we also have Frigid Fluttering that is coming soon as well as part ng ating community tournament. Ayan, meron na pala tayong date, June 21 to June 22 ang ating sunod na tournament here for Pokemon Unite Philippines. And that is the last leg for Journey Together. So, make sure to stack up your points. Guys, ang Eason Rego already has 9 points and we will make sure to update the leaderboards as soon as possible. At ipopost namin yan, of course, sa official Facebook page ng Pokemon Unite Philippines community. So make sure to follow it if you haven't followed it yet. And of course, sa iba pa nating social media pages, mapa Facebook, mapa Twitch, and of course, TikTok as well to keep updated.
Yeah, and as we are going to wrap up this tournament, that is the second installment of the Journey Together series, Season 3 ng Pokemon Unite Community League Philippines. Fairy Zone, Eason Rego securing the championship. Love and Thunder Duo would be signing off muna ngayong gabi, mga kabayan. Once again, it's Kauri or Kauriz only for this tournament. Together, syempre, with none other than
Peak! And we're signing off. We'll see you at Frigid Fluttery.